Oh, yeah. Go. Amazing. That's my boy. That's my boy.
He breaks away from a sack and completes the pass for first down.
Oh, Kittle just may have made the most amazing catch.
He fights for the first down and gets out of bounds, too.
It's no good. Overtime. Oh, what a catch. How do you drop that? What are you, Jamal Adams? Touchdown.
This is a touchdown all the way.
He reached over the pylon. San Francisco beat Cincinnati. Hello and welcome to the Christmas edition. Merry Christmas, by the way, everybody. Merry Christmas. Buon Natale. Feliz Navidad. We are here to watch the Green Bay Packers play the Miami Dolphins. Playoff implications. Here's what I love. What I love, or what I want, I should say, more than love or would love, is a scenario where the New York Jets are playing the Miami Dolphins in the final game of the season. And we wouldn't need anything else to happen. No outside help. No outside help. I just posted a video about this. No outside help. Here's what has to happen for us to be in a win-in situation to the playoffs. Here's what has to happen. Obviously, we have to beat Seattle next week. Yep. Believe it or not. Okay. So we knew that, though, right? That was an obvious check mark. What has to happen outside of in the world? If Miami was to lose this game to Green Bay, if we want them to beat New England next week, not because we're worried New England's not going to lose another game the rest of the season because they played Buffalo the last week. But remember, our goal is we don't want to look at any other scores in that final week. So if Miami loses today, then beats New England for us, guess what? We're there. Winning in. That's all that has to happen. Miami needs to lose today. If Miami loses today, we set up a showdown possibly with Miami if we win next week and Miami wins next week. So unfortunately, I don't care how you feel about Miami. If they lose today, we're rooting for them to win next week. We're rooting for the Dolphins to beat the Patriots, which isn't that hard because we hate the Patriots. By the way, that we had kickoff. Miami has the ball. Tua is getting ready to go. So it's people are against me being on here. So we got Jacob Finnegan in the house. Packers. That's right. We need the Packers today. But yet we need Miami next week. We really do. Not that we need them next week. It would just be really nice if Miami wins next week. Lose this week, win next week. If Miami loses today, all we have to do is hope New England that Miami beats New England next week and take care of Seattle. And that's it. We're in our playoffs. It's a playoff game. That Miami Jet game would be a playoff game. And you know what I mean? It would be, and it's what a beautiful way to restart that rivalry, huh? What a great way to really ignite that rivalry. And if we have Mike White, we have a chance. Does Zach start doing the show? I was just saying, I hope not. We're a much better team with Mike White playing. And that is no longer a debatable statement, right? Unless, it's over for Zach. Now, can Zach end up being a great quarterback in the league? Who knows? But we cannot no longer argue that fact that we are a better team with Mike White starting. So that's what we want to see happen. Hopefully, Mike White starts against Seattle. Hopefully. We're going to find out this week. It's hard to imagine starting Streveler over. Oh, look at this. A great running play for Miami to start the game. Shoot. But look, it's very clear, like the things that we want, the things that we don't want. But anyway, what I was saying is I don't know if who starts, Flacco, Streveler, or Zach Wilson. I just know that Mike White is our QB1 going forward for the rest of the year, rest of the season. That's all I could say when healthy. No question about that. That's no longer a debate. Salah almost said as much. Fake run option under tons of pressure to a let's go of a good pass to Tyreek Hill, who's wide open right ahead of the 50-yard line. Unfortunately, Miami is already driving and at their own 48-yard line, so that's 2 first downs to start the game. Tua did take a hit. There was no flag, but But yeah, he got hit right as he threw it. No flag. It was a clean hit. I don't think it did anything to hurt him or anything like that, but it might get in his head. But nice throw by Tua. Um, Tyreek Hill, man, really good, wide open. We're not used to seeing that because when we play them, we have Sauce Gardner. Tua backs up, hands the ball again to Mustard. Mustard goes right through for a 16-yard run. This kid, man, San Francisco has got to really be questioning themselves, how they didn't retain this guy. I understand he was hurt a lot, but he's like, man, he is. We could have gotten this guy. We held on to Ty Johnson over him. I mean, I know Ty Johnson had one good game, but this guy Mostard is a feature running back. He is fast. He's strong. Miami's got a good running back now. Well, I don't know. San Francisco is just giving out charity. Anyway, it's 1st and 10, 35-yard line. Miami at the Green Bay 35-yard line. Green Bay's defense has been invisible. They cannot stop the run. Finally, they step up, and they tackle Mostert after a 2-yard gain. So finally, somebody decided to step up for Green Bay. I believe that was Clara and Reed or something like that. Anyway, they needed to make a tackle, and they did. Joe the Jet fan says, for today, I say go Pack. Absolutely, Joe the Jet. Joe the Jet G. I agree. But I do not. I would hate to see us have to go with Zach Wilson another game. Right now, the last thing we want to do is start him. He's not a functional NFL quarterback right now at this point of his career. Don't know if he will ever be. I can only say for certain that right now, Zach Wilson's not an NFL quarterback and has no business being on an NFL football field. He is incapable of throwing wide open passes to his teammates. It's amazing what the mental part of the game can do to you. Like mentally, you could just be devastated and destroyed. By the way, it's a commercial net break. I don't know if somebody called a timeout or what's going on, but Miami is off to a very good start today. That's not good for us. We were hoping Green Bay would have the Green Bay defense would show up, but it hasn't yet. And here we go. It's 2nd down and 8. Not sure what the delay was or why a team would call a timeout at this point of the game, but Miami definitely did call a timeout. Tua is 1 for 2 at 14 yards. The main part of this drive is the Miami running game is absolutely shredding Green Bay. Payo Time is here. What's going on, Payo Time? Good to see you. Merry Christmas to you, my friends. Our entire community wishes you a very Merry Christmas. Please bless the Strevel practice. Another running play. We got lucky. The Miami Dolphin got stuck behind his own lineman. Was that Mostert? I don't even know if it was Mostert. Anyway, he kind of almost helped Green Bay bring him down. Again, Green Bay is not impressive with their defense at all. This does not look like the defense we've played against when we played them. Hopefully they tighten it up and they do something. But anyway, it's 3rd and 3. So even with a little bit of help from a Miami running back slipping, Green Bay is lucky just to have it, not be a 3rd and extremely short situation. 3rd and 3, here we go. Shotgun Tua. Somebody's in motion. That looks like a running back. Tua's in the pocket. He throws deep on the sideline. Ooh. Tyreek Hill was well covered, but almost broke out at the ends. But the coverage held. It is going to be 4th and 3, and I believe we will have a field goal or something coming. Was that Douglas on the coverage? Very good coverage on Tyreek, I gotta say. Very good. Oh, you know why it was good coverage is because Tua underthrew it. Tua underthrew the football, so the receiver had to come back a little for it, which helped. Having Tyreek having to slow down for it is, basically kept the defender step to step with Tyreek Hill. And here goes Miami for the field goal, and unfortunately, it's good. Not what we wanted to see, but at least we held them to 3 points, and Aaron Rodgers will have an opportunity to come out and take the lead. Green Bay will be playing hard today. I believe that their playoff hopes are still alive mathematically, and Aaron Rodgers said he'd play hard, and they would be determined to win every game as long as they're in the playoff hunt. Otherwise, that he might sit. But the reason he's in the game is because they are mathematically not eliminated, as far as I know. Question: what is your prediction for this game? Winner, flow of the game? Well, I think Miami is the favorite, whether Green Bay is playing hard or not. Miami is the better team. Green Bay is going to have to rebuild. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers will even come back next year. I mean, he will because it's $50 million, and Green Bay can't cut him because it's $100 million cap hit. And I don't even know if there's a trade possible that would get him out of that cap hit. So I think it's so ridiculous. People keep talking about Aaron Rodgers to the Jets. You think Green Bay is going to take $100 million cap hit for a player they can't play? It doesn't make any sense. And again, I don't know if there's any way off the hook, even a trade. I don't know if there's any way off the hook. And where the Jets going to get $50 million to get them off the hook, even if the Jets wanted to take Aaron Rodgers and even if Green Bay wanted to give him. It's not realistic, people. It's not realistic. But then again, watch it happen because weirder things in the NFL have happened. Germ me. I don't want to get germs on you, man. There's a lot of viruses going on and things like that. So, Tony says that we don't need Aaron Rodgers because it's Strevler time, dummy. Thank you for your contribution. Oh, I'm sorry. Payo time. You wanted more than just me. You wanted me saying, what is the prediction for the game? Man, I don't know. Like I said, Miami is favored. I want Green Bay, but if you put a gun to my head, I say Miami's going to win handedly, like 27-13. I think the flow of the game is that Miami's going to keep moving the ball really well. I think Green Bay will have a good drive. 13 points, a couple of field goals. They'll be able to do something because it's Aaron Rodgers, but I don't think they'll ever get into a real rhythm and take over the game. And I think Miami will have a decent game. Yeah, they already got one of those field goals for the 27 I'm picking. So I'm saying they'll get 3 more touchdowns and a field goal. Not happy about it. That's not what I'm hoping for. But if I'm going to be honest, that's what I think is going to happen. Again, Miami is the better team. So what could you do? And Grandizer keeps on saying I can't do this, but yet I am. Oh, I should set up the hotline, shouldn't I? But I don't even know if it works anymore. It may have expired. Season over. We had several chances we can take care of business. Well, mathematically, the season's not over. I understand the sentiment. I mean, look, if Zach Wilson's our quarterback, the season's over. Not mathematically, but great run! I run back. Here goes Green Bay on the kick return. 40, 30, 20. Oh, he stops. He slows down. He cuts back in, and he gets tackled at the 15-yard line. Wow, great kickoff return for Green Bay. Puts them right back in. Puts them right back in this game. That's exciting. And that's how Green Bay will have to do it, people. If they're going to win this game, they'll have to do it with big special team plays, maybe fumbles, turnovers, things like that. Great return from the end zone. Number 25, who's that? Byron? Makes a great move initially and breaks 2 tackles. He avoids 2 tackles and then finds just nothing but space. And then a bunch of Miami guys eventually took the angle and caught up to him around the 15-yard line. Am I behind? Wow. It's so funny. As tradition would say, I'm behind. Maybe we should just lie and say that's the law technically on YouTube. Anyway, they're at the 9-yard line. Wasn't the 15. Aaron Rodgers pitches the ball back. Green Bay Packer running back, Jones, I think it is, runs for about 2 yards. And we have 2nd down and goal. My whole life I've been behind, man. I'm always behind. What do you mean enough scratch showing COVID vaccines to $200 million as a signing bonus? It's not about money. It's not about money. It's like, yes, we could give them $1 billion, but the salary cap, how do you manage the salary cap after doing that? That's the thing. It's not baseball. It's not like we could just simply pay a luxury tax and pay whatever we want. We can't. And I know a lot of people said, well, other teams do it. Yeah, but we're not doing that. We're not mortgaging the future. We got a young team. Aaron Rodgers sacked back at the 20-yard line. Pathetic opportunity to throw that ball. He was almost outside the hash. He could have thrown that ball away, no penalty. Not really sure, man. Aaron Rodgers is not the same quarterback either. So another reason why the Jets, he was outside the hash. Just throw the ball down. He was outside the hash. Makes no sense. Just throw the ball away. He's got the arm. Just flick the ball out of bounds. Bad. That's like a Zach Wilson play. Anyway, here's Aaron Rodgers' chance to redeem himself. 20-yard line, 18-yard line, 18-yard line, shotgun. Aaron in the middle. Oh, what a horrible drop by Dubs. And he had some space. What a horrible drop. We think it only happens to us. Maybe it only happens when we're rooting, but it definitely happens to other teams because that was a horrendous drop pass. If I'm Rodgers, man, that's going to affect me. Like he's going to have to nah, he's too much of a veteran. But man, I could understand a young quarterback being upset by that. Aaron just can't believe it. Like that was, he put it right there in his chest. And Dobbs might have been able to get somewhere with that play. He had a little bit of space, so I'm not really sure. The field goal's good though, so we got a tie game. Go Pack, go! Tie game. Well, 2K. I'll try to get you the link if you want to join a little later. It's going to be hard for me to hold this down alone. So if you're interested, we'll get you a link. I just let me work on that. Although it's Christmas and Adam is not a Jew, so coming on live might not be so easy for him when it's Christmas and you're not a Jew. Not a Jew. Not a Jew. Let's see. Which account can I get this to? I'm just sending the link to my phone. Okay. Dun, dun. You guys still there? What do we got going on here? Oh, there's 12 of you in here. So we're in a commercial break. It's 3-3 is the score. Thank you. So anyway, somebody was saying, so we're, we our chances for the playoffs, we blew it, and it's just not true. And I'm not happy about it. I mean, when we were 7-4, none of us wanted this. We didn't want to be in a position where we have to hope other things happen, but it's really not a lot that has to have happen. I mean, very reasonable to say that Green Bay can win this game. Very reasonable to say that New England could beat Miami next week and lose this week or lose to Buffalo. We may even go into that final game win and we're in, right? And that's what we're talking about. If Green Bay pulls this off, all we need to have happen is we beat Seattle, which is obvious. We know that. What we're not worried about us. Beat Seattle, one game, right? Control of our own destiny. If Miami wins today and just beats New England next week, Miami wins today, beats New England next week, we're done. It's a win and we're in situation in the final week. And that's what we're pushing for. So the big one is today. Green Bay gets a win. We're almost there because Miami will most likely beat New England, especially if they lose this game. You think they're going to totally collapse? You think they're going to totally roll over and die? I don't think so. I think if Green Bay pulls this game off, Miami is going to come out like fire next week against New England. And even if they don't, we don't necessarily, it doesn't have to happen that way. But I don't want to be looking at a scoreboard when we play Miami the last week. I think it would be a wonderful thing if we could beat Seattle and know on game day, the last game of the season, if we win this game, we're in the playoffs. It would be a great, great feeling. And it would end up being well earned because if you beat Miami in Miami, the final game of the year, in a win and you're in playoff situation, that's earning it. Miami gets the kickoff return. He brings it back, and beautiful tackle. The returner taken down at the 15 or 16 yard line. It was nice. It's nice. We'll take it. So we are here rooting for the Packers, and most people, the rest of the world is all it's a handful of us, and the rest of the world is with Tom Grassi. That's okay. The Green Bay fans could stay with him. I get it. But the Jet fans will hang out here, and the Miami fans. Two is in under center, 16-yard line. Ooh, somebody in motion. He takes the snap, fakes the handoff, throws it up the middle. Oh my God, Waddle is going to go all the way for a touchdown. And the safety totally missed them. I mean, that's the biggest whiff I've ever seen. Touchdown Miami. Wow, the biggest whiff I've ever seen. That was worse than anything a Jet safety has done this year. That was a total whiff. That's the kind of whiff that gets you totally cut. He missed the angle. He actually dove and missed them, even though he had him measured. Absolutely no excuse for that miss from the safety. Absolutely pathetic. I mean, pathetic. He just ran 23. Oh my God, he got his ankle broken. That's not even an NFL player. That looked like Knobcraft out there. Like, really, that would be Knobcraft in his Jets sports coat and tie, trying to make a tackle. That's what that looked like. I mean, that was brutally bad. Brutally bad. Green Bay, shame. Shame. I can't believe this was a championship type team. They are garbage, total trash. What a trash defense. I cannot believe that Green Bay. I mean, it shows you how bad Zach is. The fact that we struggled to score against Green Bay and barely beat them with Zach at quarterback wasn't because their defense is good. It was because Zach is not a functional NFL quarterback. Because Green Bay's defense, pathetic. Pathetic. The fact that they have a guy on the field that could miss a tackle like that in the NFL, wow. Unbelievably bad. So I don't know why you're saying Green Bay's defense is awesome. Green Bay's defense is garbage. They are being walked on right now. If this was the Jets, you'd be freaking out. We got no defense, fire on brick. They literally walked down the field with us the first drive for a field goal. They had a beautiful drive. And then that play, there was just a joke. It was just a simple route up the middle of the field. That's exposing a weak pass defense. So I don't care what people say. That Green Bay is weak. Maybe they've just given up on the season. Oh, sarcasm. Thank God. Maybe they've just given up on the season. Because they felt better in the middle of the year, but that was garbage. That was like they look like a college football team playing Alabama, like Rutgers versus Alabama. Sorry, Rutgers. Anyway, Knobcraft says Waddle got that juice. I love that I threw Knobcraft into that. Like it looked like Knobcraft on the field trying to make the tackle. Knobcraft would have thrown out some oregano. The runner would have smelled it, stopped and slowed down. What smells so good? And then Knobcraft would have pushed him out of bounds. By the way, Knobcraft, I made a hell of a prime rib yesterday. The butcher sold it to me. They pre-wrap and marinate and season it. So it had like garlic and rosemary infused all over it. And got it in there at about 350. Had a cooking thermometer in there. Had it on a drip pan, on the drip thing. Waited until it got to about 140. Took that thing out. It was nice and red in the middle. The way I like it. Nice and rare in the middle. It's very, very nice. Jeremy, I love my family too much. I have to support my sister's team, Miami. It's too close to my family. Well, I mean, it's hard to. I mean, how can you be a Jets fan and support Miami though? Like that's like saying if the Jets were playing Miami, would you support Miami over the Jets for your sister? It's kind of weird because I have very good friends who are Miami fans, and I have family that I've had what situations. I mean, I've been with people that I'm close to that root for the other team. And even if my brother is Carolina, lives in North Carolina, if the Jets played Carolina Panthers, I'm not rooting for Carolina because of my brother. I don't know what you're talking about, brother. But Christopher, you do your thing. It's okay. Maybe you're hoping the Jets get into the playoffs another way, or maybe you've just acknowledged the fact that the Jets suck and they're not getting into the playoffs anyway. He's Tim Tebow. Well, he kind of looked like Tim Tebow, right? I mean, finding a way to move the ball down the field. Except Tim Tebow found a way to score touchdowns. But then Strevin only had that one opportunity. And it was kind of a stupid call. I mean, that's just how bad Mike LaFleur is. It's like my guy gets all the way down the field. It's fourth down. He clearly is not a traditional quarterback. Because even in that drive, his arm was clear. He was clearly inaccurate. He's not a good passer. What do? You put him in the pocket and have him do a regular passing play. I mean, Mike LaFleur is garbage. Garbage. Most overrated offensive coordinator we've ever had because there's still people who like him and think he's good. It's like, no, he's a kid. He's a deer in headlights. He stinks. He stunk for 2 years. Look at the talent we have on our team. Mike LaFleur is awesome. I mean, awful, not awesome. He's awesome at being awful. We have a big problem because Saleh loves him as a little brother and would never fire him. So we're stuck with a very, very bad, a very stupid offensive coordinator. Just to give you an idea of what a bad offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur is, um, even after we've made fun of him and said every time they get inside the 20, they try a trick play that never works, he did it again on Thursday. First play of the offensive play of the game, brings in Streveler as a wide receiver, tries to get fancy. Exactly why we've been losing, killed all of our drives against the Vikings. Sometimes I think Mike LaFleur is actually being paid by the other team, or he's a gambler and he's trying to lose the game. But he's a garbage offensive coordinator. If he wasn't friends with LaFleur, there's a chance he might be gone. Good pass by Green Bay. Christian Watson, a kid I loved out of college, really coming into his own as a receiver in this league. Tall, fast, athletic, a great athlete. He's like a 6. I mean, literally runs a 4.3, 6'3", 6'4", big body. Love this kid. He's a rookie. He's already making a difference in the NFL. He goes, wait, if it's a division game I'm against her, of course. Well, if it's a division game, yes, it's a division game. Not only is it a division game, but there's very serious playoff implications. Man, that prime rib was so good. Ooh, see, Aaron Rodgers knows how to lead his receiver. So anyway, Green Bay is driving now, which is exciting. Christian Watson, man, I loved him. He was like in my top 5 wide receivers in the draft last year. I really liked him. I was hoping he'd slip and the Jets would go double up on wide receiver and get him. Some people said that it would take him 2 years to develop, which I called out as really silly. It's like, who predicts that a wide receiver is going to need 2 years to develop? Here we go. I don't know how Green Bay got so far down the field, but they're inside the 20 in the red zone. Aaron Rodgers into the end zone. Oh no, deflected, looking for a flag. Not going to get it. The refs don't call flags anymore, by the way. Something I've noticed. Let me go down. Saleh better tell him to say his Hail Marys. Exactly. He's got to go. Yeah, man, we loved him in the draft, bro. We loved him. I'm coming at him. Okay, let me. 1 second. So this is Christmas, and what have you done? Maybe you'll join us and have all the fun. Oh, Aaron Rodgers to the 2-yard line. This would be great. This is a great bounce back by Green Bay. This is what we haven't been able to do, the Jets lately. Like when things go wrong for us, we don't bounce back. We don't respond because Mike LaFleur is a horrendously bad offensive coordinator and because Zach Wilson is not the man. Yeah. I hate it when they say, "Oh, but they move the ball when there are other quarterbacks in." Yeah, they move the ball when there are other quarterbacks in, but they still don't score touchdowns because Mike LaFleur is awful. I mean, when your team just doesn't score a lot, like it's like, especially the offense has been. Oh, Christian Watson takes a sneaky little trick play. Flag. Let's see what the flag is on. Looks like a face mask. Maybe against Miami because the Miami Dolphin is the guy doing it. Again, this is an example of, and this is LaFleur's brother's team doing some weird trick play. 1st and 3. Imagine 1st and goal on the 3-yard line, and you do a wide wraparound sweep. It makes no sense, and it's scary and concerning that you see doing it now with LaFleur as their head coach and his brothers on the Jets, and they do it all the time, and they won't back down from it. Like they keep doing it over and over again. The same bad football, the same poor offensive calls. We need to get I don't care about the LaFleur and Green Bay. That doesn't affect me, but I don't know if is it gonna take getting rid of Saleh? Like, are we gonna? I mean, is he gonna have to fail as a coach and get fired to get rid of Mike LaFleur, or is it possible we get to keep Saleh and not have to deal with Mike LaFleur? Because I've given up on Mike LaFleur. To me, I'm not saying they should fire him right now, but to me, it's hot seat. Like next year, hot seat. Next year, if they get off to a slow start and they're not scoring, like get them off the team and have somebody ready to take over the play calling. Um, we cannot have nepotism, I think they call it. We cannot have a situation where Mike LaFleur gets to keep his job because he's friends with him. I love it when people defend him. I wonder how much Zach like LaFleur had to do with Zach's pick. I don't know if it has. It doesn't matter if it has anything to pick. My problem to do with an interception. I'm not blaming an offensive coordinator for an interception. I'm blaming an offensive coordinator for every single time the Jets have gotten the ball in the red zone has destroyed the drive by calling a stupid trick play that never works and has only stopped the momentum of the drive. And he's done it every single time in the last 4 games, about literally 9 times in a row in the red zone, has called a trick play and destroyed our team and destroyed our drive. So that's what I'm talking about. It's not his fault Zach stinks, but it's his fault that no matter who plays quarterback, he always makes the dumbest decisions. Streveler was on a touchdown drive. It's 4th and 3. Do the same thing that you were doing. Do an option. Let him run around, make a quick pass. Oh, you're saying no the draft pick. Sorry. I wonder how much LaFleur had to do with the. Oh, I don't know how much he had to do with the pick, but let's bring on Adam. I don't, I'm not gonna I believe there's multiple skills in any position, so I don't know if LaFleur is bad at designing offensive plays in a playbook. Like we have a lot of good plays. I'm not, my problem with LaFleur is, and Adam could chime in on this. And welcome Watsu K99. My problem with Mike LaFleur is that every single time we get into the red zone, he falls apart and calls this stupid trick play. And if I'm an opposing coach, I know it's coming. I know he's going to call some stupid trick play because he does it every single time. And the predictability is kryptonite in the NFL. What's up, Watsu?
Well, howdy, y'all, from Nashville, Tennessee. I'm literally half a mile from Nissan Stadium as we're recording this. So I am
Nice.
actually in my hotel room right now. And Merry Christmas to all of us who celebrate. All right, looks like they're going for the field goal. I'm actually. Wait a minute, they're lined up. We'll get to Mike LaFleur in a moment. But
they're going for it. They're going for it. Nice little pass. Beautiful touchdown.
You're a second ahead of me. There we go. All right. Go, Pack, go. I want cheese.
All right.
So I know we're coming right into talking about this, but to me, I don't have a huge issue with Mike LaFleur as of right now. I definitely am not ready to call him terrible. He definitely designed, in my mind, an excellent game plan that helped beat the Buffalo Bills. All right, we've seen that he could be a very capable offensive coordinator, but I don't think he's absolutely made mistakes. I don't think he's that different than Robert Saleh. First-time offensive coordinator and a first-time head coach figuring out their ways. And I believe that we've seen steady improvement from Robert Saleh over the course of this season. And I think we've seen some of the same thing from Mike LaFleur. Now, as far as the red zone goes, I definitely think it took him too long to figure out when you're in the red zone, it might be a good idea to put a few extra offensive linemen in. It might help to actually throw the ball to a tight end, which he eventually dialed up for CJ Uzomah, which I was very happy to see. But yes, I'm a little bit tired of the trick plays. I do think that as we see one offensive line injury after another, and we're struggling to run the ball, no matter where we are on the field, whether we're inside our own 20, in the red zone, or in between the 20s, I think he has so little confidence in this run game, and understandably so, as these other defenses are stacking the box, that he doesn't really feel he may have another alternative than to get a little cute and to get a little bit creative with play calling. Just a different perspective.
Right. The issue I have with it is the drives that he does it is the drives where we have momentum, and traditionally what you do when you get a big turnover, it seems to just be the flow of football. You get a big turnover in the red zone, somewhere inside 30 yards of the end zone. The first play, you do a play action, you pop the ball into the end zone, you try to make a big passing play touchdown. If he does that with Zach, maybe Zach gets confidence, maybe it changes the whole game. But to right away on the first play, get tricky and fancy and tell me that you're going to bring Streveler in as your wide receiver, how does that make us better to line Streveler up as a wide receiver?
That was a very weird play call. To this day, I don't even know what they were trying to do on that play. I was looking around for the ball, and when I finally figured out, it's like, oh, Zach's on the ground, 1 yard. Yeah, the fact that we went backwards on that drive was just Right then, I mean, you had to have a feeling right there at that point that this may not be the best game unless the defense absolutely took it over. And after that one play, they failed after that. A lot of people are coming in with defensive stats. It's like, well, Detroit did this, but the Jets did this against this defense. This is a good defense. This other team scored this many points, and on and on and on. There are too many times when this team allows big third down conversions. I mean, that one play that Jacksonville had when they went like 98, 99 yards, they didn't face. It was the drive where they scored their touchdown, where Trevor Lawrence scored the touchdown. Trevor Lawrence scored that touchdown on a third down. It's the only third down the Jaguars had on that drive. I'm sorry, that is not good enough. It isn't. And I know the defense has a lot more expectations on them now because of the struggles of the offense and what we've seen with Zach Wilson at quarterback. But still, it's like you have to learn. You have to get these teams off the field. Sometimes you got to give an offense a short field. That's the only way we were scoring last night. Was the start in field goal range. Good stop by the Packers on special teams. Go Packers!
So here's my thing, and that's why I'm not saying fire him now. My biggest annoying thing is because I think he designs a perfectly fine offense, and it's not his fault that Zach Wilson's dysfunctional quarterback. Right. My issue is that to do the same mistake over and over again. And this is it's as much on Salah because Salah has the ability to say knock it off, right? Salah was okay with it also. He's allowing it to happen. But what I'm asking is if we go into next year, assuming this season goes the way it's going, because I know we're sitting here hoping for a playoff spot. Miami first down. I know we're sitting here hoping for a playoff spot, but the reality is this team is collapsing. We are having a complete meltdown. We're falling apart, right? If the fall apart continues, if the offense continues to blow, which they have just been awful, we go into next season. What if 6 weeks into the season, we're still averaging under 20 points a game? What if we're still putting up 9s, putting up a 3, putting up a 12, right? At what point does Mike LaFleur go on the hot seat? At what point, year 3 of an offensive coordinator, with a bad offense, with the amount of talented players we have, at what point does the arrow start pointing to the coordinator?
Well, the first thing I would need to know before I answer that question is who's our starting quarterback next season? Man. Yeah. I mean, that will in turn affect what he could do. I'm sorry. What offensive coordinator right now has a game plan in mind that makes Zach Wilson look like a competent NFL quarterback? I don't think it exists. Yeah. So I'm not. When I look at the list of problems with this team, Mike LaFleur is definitely not in my top 5. Put it that way.
Yeah, well, we got other problems, but if we come out those first 4 or 5 games with no offense, at some point something's got to be done.
Absolutely, yeah, and I would say this: we'll have, I would say, at least 3, maybe 4 new pieces of the offensive line compared to what we have right now. Okay, I mean, I don't expect Tomlinson to be gone, and he has disappointed this season. Dwayne Brown is basically playing with one arm. Okay, George Fant's going to be gone. Nate Herbig, who knows? I mean, I'm not counting on him being back. He may be, but we don't know. And Connor McGovern's a free agent. This offensive line is going to be a good deal different than what it is right now, and that is one of the things that everyone's going to talk about the quarterback. Okay, but you, me, people in this chat, we know better than that. It's not just the quarterback. You have to put your quarterback in positions to succeed. And if he doesn't have time to throw a pass, then it's not going to work.
He got the first down on that, Mike.
You gave it to him?
Yeah, this is going to be an offensive game. So I agree with you. I think that AVT obviously will be back. I believe that Becton will be the starter. I don't think he's going to get hurt a third year in a row. And I think that because we're not going to bring Fant back, I mean, I don't think it's going to be hard for Becton to win the job over an offensive lineman who can't lift his arm over his shoulder. Obviously, I think it's going to be Becton, AVT. I think Max Mitchell, I'm hoping, knock on wood, God to help his health, that he's going to be the starting right tackle. He'll be back. So we'll have AVT, Beckham, and Max Mitchell, 3 young guys.
Oh, that was Holden.
I think I would guess that we're going to extend or we're going to work out some kind of deal with McGovern.
Okay.
'Cause even if we were to draft somebody, are we really going to go in with?
Oh.
Well, I know.
Yeah, I know you're a little ahead of me. So
No, to a fumble, but recovered his own fumble.
wow,
So
this is like watching the Jets defense a little bit.
I wouldn't be surprised if McGovern is the one, because I know that money's tight, but like out of all the guys that we're going to see and changes we're going to see, I think you're going to see McGovern stay, even if we draft somebody, unless the plan is to use a first round pick or a second round pick and plug in starter, which they'd have to do if we lost McGovern because there's no one out there.
No.
So, and then I imagine we're going to draft more offensive linemen, obviously, and because we're not going to sign Herbig. It doesn't,
Do you really think
I don't.
Herbig's gone? You're that confident in Herbig's history?
Probably because he wants to be a starter, and the truth is he's an okay. He's not. He's nothing special. He's not the starter we want. He got off to a really good start, but he hasn't played that well the last few games.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if he's playing through something right now. But I mean, what if you put AVT at right guard and put Mitchell at right tackle? If you believe in his health, or Herbig at right guard and AVT at right tackle is what I really meant. And then that way there isn't the then you don't have to commit to Mitchell necessarily.
Yeah, no, I think that it's functional that way, but I really think that we're built around trying to have a not just functional. I mean, I think we really want to have a great offensive line, and so I do think that they might have to draft the best guard available. Again, we could really use that safety from Alabama too. So I mean, the draft, we only get one pick with that first pick, so it's going to be as long as they hit on that pick.
And we only have 6 draft picks as of right now. I'm sure there'll be a little wheeling and dealing, but this isn't a situation where we're flooded with picks. So the ones we make, we have to make them count. And again, it's another situation where it's not as if you use your best pick to address your biggest weakness. That isn't necessarily how that goes, because I'm going to keep coming back to this. Why were Jets fans most Jets fans, not fans of drafting Sauce number 4? Because they felt they had bigger needs. And we thought we were at least competent at cornerback. But Sauce was the best player they could have drafted at that time. And sometimes that's what that means. If that means they wind up getting, another wide receiver to go alongside Garrett, and he's that good, so we have our own Hill and Waddle combination, great. I mean, I'm at the point I don't do it. Oh my goodness, what a catch.
Lazard. That was Lazard.
Lazard.
Green Bay has the ball. We are in a 10-10 game. We did force Miami to punt. The defense stood tall and finally slowed down Miami's offense.
Oh, that was beautiful. The Czar, as I call him.
I know. And now we got Green Bay in midfield above, past midfield. So that's good news for us. End of the first quarter. I'd say it's going well for us overall. 10-10. Green Bay has the ball. They're not getting blown out. They're keeping it a game. It's as much as we can ask for.
Oh, wow. He caught that ball with his palms at first. Like, it wasn't his fingertips. Like, that was a very impressive catch.
Yeah. I would say to Knobcraft, it's more likely Mac. If the answer is no, Becton cannot move to guard. He's way too big.
No. He is a tackle. No left tackle or right tackle. That is it.
Right. Becton is not going to guard. But Max Mitchell, that's a different question. I don't see why they would do it, because usually if you're good enough to play tackle, why move you to guard? But just theoretically, Adam, do you think it's possible to turn Max Mitchell into a guard?
It's difficult for me to say. I would say this with Mitchell. I mean, I'm not an expert at determining what makes somebody a great tackle, guard, or center, or why AB2 can do anything on the field. But I will say this. I felt this was never supposed to be a year where he was supposed to play extensively. He was forced into duty. And I would say he was okay. For a 4th-round rookie, I believe, he was all right. I think another year of bulking up, of learning the NFL, I could see him taking a jump from year 1 to year 2. I can see a jump from him if he's coached properly. As far as being a guard, it's a little bit early for me to say that. But again, with Tomlinson and I believe AVT, I would be interested to see the stats at the end of the season. Where was AVT at his best? Because he played 4 different positions, in terms of his run block percentage, pass rush, win percentage, all that kind of stuff. That's going to be it's so interesting that the Jets are in this position with AVT because he is the wild card of this offensive line, and practically nobody else has a player like that I know of, where you could
Look,
plug him into 4 different positions.
look, and Tomlinson has been disappointing because of the money. He's not
Yes.
he's not a dysfunctional player. He's not an awful guard.
No, he's not
So
Vlad Dukas.
right, it's not like he's a problem. He's just not worth the money. We wanted to get all pro, and we're not getting all pro. But ideally, if you had AVT and Tomlinson as your guards and Becton at left tackle and Mitchell at right tackle, that's
Right.
not bad. It's not
No,
bad.
Wayne Brown is a backup for 1 year?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not a bad situation. And then we got to worry about center. And it's like, again, if we want to draft a center in the later rounds, third or fourth round, you got to maintain McGovern. Like, you can't let him go and count on a third round center. At some point we have to think about center for the future, but like, I can't see, unless we're really planning on using a top pick on a center, I can't imagine that we're going to let McGovern get away. We're going to pay him some money to stay. The problem is what are other people going to come and try to pay him, because there's a shortage of centers in the NFL.
Most definitely. Yeah, it is pretty amazing. I mean, all you needed to see was when Mitch Morse went out for Buffalo, who went in? Greg Van Mangold.
The legendary Greg Van Mangold came in and played center for the Buffalo Bills. So you can't ignore. So anyway, Paul's been waiting. Put this question in a while ago. He said, "Who do you think the 3 quarterbacks in the training camp? The 3 active quarterbacks on the roster in training camp. The easiest one is Zach Wilson, and here's why: because it cost us $20 million against the Cat. How do you drop that after making the catch you made before? Come on, buddy.
Oh my gosh.
Horrible drop.
Oh my gosh.
So right off the bat, Zach Wilson is one of the 3 quarterbacks. I don't see any way out of it. We're not going to take a $20 million cap hit. There's no other team that's going to trade and take over that contract. And I don't even know, because it's bonus money if they're able to. So we're stuck with Zach Wilson for next year. Even the year after that is a hard cap hit of like 15 million. So we're really stuck. We're in a bad situation with Zach Wilson. So I think you see Zach. I don't see, my prediction would be Mike White we're gonna sign him, unless something happens where he does, he comes back and plays amazing, and some team comes and rolls the dice and pays big money for him.
Oh, close.
I know. So I would say it's going to be Zach Wilson, Mike White. I think Streveler will be the 4th stringer again, if we can keep him. And I think the third guy is going to be, honestly, I believe this. I think the third guy is going to be one of 2 people. I think it's going to be Jimmy G, depending on how Mike White does. If Mike White doesn't play again, Jimmy G. If Mike White comes in and doesn't play that well, just okay, Jimmy G. If Mike White comes in and plays amazing, then not Jimmy G. Maybe Gary Minshew.
Good. That pass was too far. Okay, you could tell me. They went for that on 4th down. They really went for that on 4th and 2?
Yeah.
Are they trying to deep bomb down the field?
They're just taking shots.
Wow.
You have Aaron Rodgers. It may have even been Aaron Rodgers' decision. It may have been like an audible he called.
I don't understand 4th and 2. I mean, wow. If you don't trust Crosby, that's one thing. But man, throwing a deep bomb like that on 4th and 2, wow.
I hate it when they throw the
when you're tied.
Low percentage. Just do an out pattern. Just do something real quick, a quick out pattern or something. You got Aaron Rodgers, the most accurate quarterback ever. Like, just do a quick out. You know what I mean?
Every time I see like 3rd and 1 and it's like 5 wide shotgun, I'm like, why are you doing this? I mean, it works maybe 1 out of 10 times, but it's just like you're taking away possibilities of what you can realistically do. I mean, plays like that have never made sense. Same like the fade into the back corner of the end zone, unless you're throwing it to, say, Plexico Burris or somebody like that, or Andre Johnson. I mean, that's when it makes sense. As far as quarterbacks go, I cannot imagine both Jimmy Garoppolo and Mike White being on this team at the same time. I don't think that would happen. For me, it would be. I think this is going to be a rough market for free agent quarterbacks, because you have 4 or 5 of them that are going to come out in the draft that are probably going to go in the first 40 to 50 picks, I would say. So a lot of these teams that need a quarterback are going to wait till the draft. I think that's going to make it tough for Mike White to get another spot. I do believe he will be back on the Jets next season. If I had to bet on one quarterback, I think I would go Mike White over anybody else. I'm really
I actually agree. If we were to sign Jimmy G, we're probably going to let Mike White walk because
you
mean,
can't
because
put that much money in a quarterback.
Somebody's going to offer him $5-6 million, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, please. I'd rather have one $45 million quarterback than three $15 million quarterbacks, to use an analogy.
Yeah.
Because you can only play one at a time, right?
Yeah.
So
no, it's true. True. Look, I'd be perfectly happy if Jimmy G was our quarterback next year. Like I would be very satisfied. I wouldn't be sitting there screaming Super Bowl. I wouldn't be like the Niner fans when they first got him. We got the next Tom Brady. I would say we got a competent quarterback that's proven competent in this system. And if you look at our season this year, and that's with so many rookies and a team that's only going to get better. If you look at our season, if you gave us Jimmy G competency, we are in the playoffs already. We already have 10 wins. And I have no doubt in my mind about that.
I agree. And you throw in a returning Breece Hall, even if he's not ready for the first couple of weeks of the season, when you throw in that weapon with these other running backs that we have, plus the wide receivers, I mean, you have something to work with. You really do have something to work with. And I just hope and pray the defense can stay close to as healthy as they've been this season. Because the truth is, our defense has been remarkably uninjured for the most part. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know that was bad.
Yeah. Oh, flag on play.
Holding. Yep.
Yeah. If the Packers defense was a cheese, it would be Swiss. Let's just say that with the run defense. But
yeah,
I think Streveler could be back. I mean, after what we saw, I think Chris Streveler, we saw exactly what he is. He can give you a nice little bonus. He can be a nice little gimmick player for a couple of plays a game. But that's it. The guy can't throw a football, Tony.
Yeah, everybody is forgetting that Streveler cost us a touchdown. I mean, he opened it up. He gave us the opportunity. But at the same time, as excited as we were about him and for all the things he did right, he also missed is that going to count? I thought he was down by contact. He also missed a wide open CJ. I mean, like that was a touchdown. He just totally missed it and underthrew him by 5 yards.
That was the most open a Jets player was all game long by far. Even Zach would have hit that throw, I kind of think. But yeah, the fact that throw was missed was just unbelievable to me. I mean,
his foot touched him. He's down.
Okay. And yeah. Yep, absolutely down. But yeah, that's still pretty deep.
Yeah. Look, I don't know what is going on with Green Bay's defense. I thought they had a good defense. This defense is really just what is going on.
They have a good pass defense, but they did lose. I mean, they lost Rashawn Gary for the season, who was their best pass rusher, in my opinion. I mean, you have one really good corner, Jair Alexander, but yeah, I mean, the front seven is just not good.
But man, stop the run. So I'll tell you, Miami is hurting themselves. They're stabbing themselves in the foot. Yeah, they're killing themselves with penalties. 4 for 35. I mean, and bad timing too. So here we go. We got 1st and 15. Not, I mean, that's not a problem when you're running 7 yards a run. When you can hand it to Mostert and he gets 7 yards every play. I mean, and here they go. They're gonna play action. Tua going deep. Oh, and he caught it. Wow, to the 1 yard line. Wow, that sucks. Man, that sucks.
I can't believe people actually said that Tyreek Hill was overrated. It's amazing that people actually thought he was overrated. He's worth every dime. He is worth every dime. Put it this way. I don't think it would have been the right thing for the Jets to go get him, considering what they had. But, man, it made a lot more sense for Miami, I think, than it did for the Jets.
See, respectfully, I don't agree with this. Everybody goes right to they didn't develop the quarterback. What if Zach Wilson just stinks? So Sam Darnold is not the same staff. Touchdown Miami. Shit. I just don't agree, Jets 44. I can't agree with this because how do you know? It's like suddenly every quarterback in the league, like every NFL quarterback out of college, every college quarterback in the NFL that goes into the NFL has the chance to be a good quarterback, and it's only up to the coaches. Like, I don't understand that. You're saying they can't develop a quarterback. Well, why does Mike White look so good? Why does why did Trevor look good? Every other quarterback that have taken a snap for the Jets looks good. You're good. You're basing this. What if Zach Wilson is just awful? What is the why do you know for a fact that we can't develop a quarterback?
Josh Johnson looked good in this offense last year. He was able to throw a touchdown against the Colts, first of all. And again, it was one quarterback. So one quarterback proves you can't develop a quarterback. Okay, so if Peyton Manning was here, would you say, no, I don't want to draft Peyton Manning because we'll just find a way to screw it up? It just doesn't make sense to me at all.
But I call baloney. I see it's the most overrated, overused term in the world. The team's developing quarterback. When in the world has it mattered? Peyton Manning came to the Indianapolis Colts. They were horrible. They were trash. Did it stop him from developing? Trevor Lawrence came in, and his trajectory, he was showing flashes last year with a disaster at head coach, gets a new head coach, and he's continuing his path. A good quarterback is going to be a good quarterback. When have we invented this thing where they're not going to be good? Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's like magically now coaches are responsible for developing quarterbacks. No, that's not how it works. Guys who are going to be good are good. Justin Hebert, or whatever his name is, you think he's good because of the coaching in San Diego? He's good because he's good.
And here's the other argument that I would like everybody to just retire. Never draft another quarterback from fill in the blank college. Every USC quarterback's always going to suck. Based off that logic, then nobody should have ever drafted Patrick Mahomes, because how many great quarterbacks ever came out of Texas Tech? Yeah, I'm sick of the college because this quarterback failed in the 1960s with a coaching staff that's dead now. That's freaking 6 feet under. That means that the current regime of whatever college can't develop a quarterback either. Can we stop with that?
Right. And this is nonsense. He was not terrible. He was a typical rookie quarterback, and he flashed Lawrence last year. We knew Lawrence was good. Nobody was saying Lawrence wasn't going to be good last year. Last year, we were saying he looks like a quarterback who's going to be either good to great, who's developing. It's not on the coaches. Like, stop this nonsense. It's a lie.
And it doesn't exactly hurt.
Develop the quarterback. When? In 150 years of the NFL, when has it been the coaches? When have we been hyper-focused on it's the coaches? It's not the coaches. It's not the coaches. Quarterbacks are good or they're not good. They either slow the game down and process fast enough, or they don't. The coaches can't magically make that happen.
You can't change a quarterback's instincts. By the way, with Jacksonville, it doesn't exactly help that they spent a record-setting money amount of free agency this season, that they signed player after player after player after player. That hasn't exactly hurt. That he has a brand new right guard. They re-signed the left tackle. They have two new wide receivers, a new tight end, and by the way, Travis Etienne didn't play a single down last season. He didn't play a down. I think all of that is making Trevor Lawrence look a whole lot better than he did last season.
Now, I agree with this statement. I agree with this statement. I do agree with this statement.
We're not being extremists here. We're not taking it to the other extreme.
Right. I'm not taking it to the other extreme. I agree that coaches have something to do with it. But more than the development of the quarterback, I think it has to do with putting the players around them and teaching them. Like, it's a combination. Like, a great example of this is Daniel Jones, right? What is the coaching staff in New York and the Giants on the other side of the stadium locker room? What have they done for Daniel Jones? Well, he's definitely helped him. There's no question. He's a superior coach than what the Giants had. But the Giants also have a greatly improved offensive line. They also have Saquon Barkley effectively running the ball. So it's not just developmental coaching that's helped Daniel Jones. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. It's there. We saw him yelling at him on the sideline, getting more out of him. I have no argument with that. But there's also better offensive line play, better running back who's healthy, giving you, taking the attention of the defense, having to force the defense to stack the box to stop Saquon Barkley, which is going to help open things up for Daniel Jones. So I'm not saying it has nothing to do with it. but we can't say that the Jets are incapable of developing a young quarterback because Zach Wilson's a bust. Like
Yeah,
we just
it's
can't
just a
say that.
waste. Yeah, this has nothing to do with Sam Darnold, nothing to do with Geno Smith, nothing to do with Christian Hackenberg. You name the guy. This is it's a new regime,
Right,
and
it's a
they
new regime. Sam Darnold Sam Darnold has nothing to do with the current Jets coaching staff, or so like it can't be on them. It's like just because the team is the same name, Jets, it has nothing to do with it. It's a completely 100% different coaching staff. You know what I mean? So we can't. Sam Darnold is not an example.
unless Brent Boyer has some time to talk to quarterbacks, then we can put a little blame on him because he's been here forever. It seems like, but I don't think that's what's going on. So.
Yeah, look, I think that McCoy did a great job with Goff. I think there are examples of. I think there are examples, but I think that it also has to do with better team, right? Because the Rams were a better team, and had other things. Also, I know it's frustrating, and also we're talking about the game. The game is not going well for us.
Nope.
Like another example Jets 44, that is a good example in what you're saying is Ryan Tannehill, right? Ryan Tannehill looked like he was going to be not a bust, but a big disappointment. He went to Tennessee. But again, that's not just quarterback development. That's Henry. That's tons of play action. That's getting to go against the defense that has the box stacked where you're doing play action and you're getting one-on-ones. So it's a combination in all these examples. But to say that the Jets, I understand that Zach Wilson, we don't know, though. It's only one guy. We don't know if he would have been better with other coaches. We don't know if other coaches can make him salvageable. How do you expect the coaching staff to teach Zach Wilson how to throw a football? Like, I mean, when he's missing passes behind the line of scrimmage to his own guy, when he came to the NFL and he couldn't throw a screen pass last year, even in Tennessee, the game that we won, we should have won much easier, but he missed a wide open guy in the end zone. And then we could have put the game away for a first down, and he missed a wide open guy for an 8-yard pass. How do you blame, how can you develop that? Like, how is that not just something a quarterback, an NFL quarterback is supposed to have? Like, nobody blames Arizona for not developing Josh Rosen. Nobody is blaming Cleveland and saying they didn't know how to develop Manziel. Like, there's such thing as quarterbacks that are just busts. Zach Wilson doesn't look like a quarterback that's being miscoached or not developed properly. He looks like a guy that's incompetent and can't play in the NFL. Like, he's overwhelmed. Like, you can't teach that. You can't fix a scared player. And I'm not saying, look, if they draft if Zach Wilson goes somewhere else and he's great, and the Jets get another young quarterback and stinks, and they let him go and he goes somewhere else and he's great. Yeah, at some point we'll sit there and say 100% they can't. This staff can't develop quarterbacks. But you're talking about one quarterback. You're talking about he hasn't went anywhere else and succeeded. If Zach Wilson was to go to another team and develop into a great quarterback, then you could start pointing fingers and saying, how come we couldn't do that? But that hasn't happened yet. We don't know. There's no evidence at all that Zach Wilson would be good anywhere else he played.
No, none whatsoever as far as that goes. And man, it's just ridiculous right now. Yeah, it's really these penalties that's keeping Green Bay in the game right now. And by the way, the Green Bay coaching is just ridiculous. I mean, who does a fake punt and runs it right up the middle with? Oh my goodness, that was just ridiculous. The more I think about what Zach Wilson needs, he has absolutely no confidence and no belief in himself. And I don't think it has anything to do with even New York. I don't think it has anything to do with the coaching. I think it's on him. It's really on him. Oh man, there we go. That's better.
Green Bay just made a good stop on Miami.
Yeah, I mean, coaches can teach quarterback new plays. They can work on a throwing motion, footwork. They can say, here's some things that you could do to do better. But at the end of the day, I think it's a lot harder to teach a quarterback the mental side of being a quarterback. To me, that's like something you're born with when you're just wired that way. And I don't think this is a quarterback that, for whatever reason, has the personality to handle playing it. I don't care if it's in New York. I don't care if it's in Houston. I don't care if it's in, you name the city. in Jacksonville. It's a shame. But the reason why I don't want to draft a quarterback next year is not because I don't believe in the coach's ability, the coaching staff's ability to develop a quarterback. It's because this is a team that has the ability to contend for playoff spots. I believe give the Bills a run for the division title. I think that this is a team that has some pieces that could take them to that level. So that is why I'm looking at a veteran quarterback to come in here.
Yeah.
If Derek Carr could get here, if we could find a way to get Derek Carr, I would be overwhelmingly happy. That would be amazing to me. Aaron Rodgers, I just, as much respect as I have for Aaron Rodgers, it's over. It would be a one-year mercy. It would be Brett Favre Part 2. It would be exactly that in my mind. And when you throw in the contract as well, it's an absolute albatross. We have a player to re-sign, and his name is Quinnen Williams. That is the most important thing to do this offseason. All right, so that is priorities number 1, 2, and 3. Then I want to hear about what we're going to do at quarterback.
So I agree with this. I agree with this, Jets 44, completely. I don't think it's about quarterback development. I think it's about play calling. Like, so he's not putting him in the best position. When you say succeed, I'm not saying as a developing as a player. He's not succeeding in numbers, statistics, and winning because of the play calling. So I agree with that. He's holding him back and putting him in bad positions because of the play calling. But that's a little different from actual player development. But I see that it's a similar line because I think Mike White would have better stats and better success if they called better plays in the red zone specifically.
Yeah, the red zone is one spot you could definitely make an argument. But up until the minute,
Miami's about to put this game away, by the way.
They gave him the first down. Unbelievable.
So this is all the Packers defense. The Packers defense is horrendous. And if you know what, if you have one injury or two injuries to your defense and you're this bad, that means your defense is a fraud. Because I remember how the Jet fans were jumping all over our defense because they gave up a touchdown to Detroit at the end of the game. But they held Detroit's offense to 10 points the whole game, like not including the punt return and the turnover from Wilson. So how could you want to see an example? And it's funny because somebody was actually using that as an argument. Green Bay has an elite defense. They stopped Detroit. Does this look like an elite defense? We were playing without Quinnen Williams, and we still held Detroit to 10 points. Green Bay has an injury, and Miami is running all over them. And as I say that, Green Bay gets a sack.
Perfect. Keep doing what you're doing. It's working.
Yeah. I was just going to keep putting him down because every time I put down Green Bay's defense, they finally start stepping up and doing something.
Oh my gosh.
Carr would be done in New York. It would be because we are a toxic fan base, by the way. I'm not as mad at Zach Wilson's mother. She's 100% correct. We are a toxic fan base. And there's
because it was Christmas Eve and I'm on vacation, some guy. I did not watch. And I'm proud to say I didn't watch football yesterday, more than like a minute.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I know what you meant, some guy. And let me tell you something. First and goal.
I will say
good.
Come on. Good job. The one thing with the red zone offense. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say the message that was sent to Zach Wilson's mother was 100% inappropriate.
Completely on every level. And when one idiot does that, it makes the rest of us look stupid too. And also that one guy, his name Kevin, whatever the hell his name is, who confronted Joe Douglas and said, "Great job on drafting another Ryan Leaf," and then he curses Joe Douglas out. Why? What possesses somebody to do something that stupid? And what are you trying to accomplish?
Right.
What are you trying to do by doing something like that? And the problem is, people like that become the majority. They represent the rest of us.
Field goal, Miami.
Yeah, well, I could deal with 10 points. We're all emotional crazies. We all know that. But in the midst of our misery and our anger, there's a freaking line you just don't cross. And involving family is absolutely one of them. So, yeah. To me, it was absolutely ridiculous. But another thing with this red zone offense, they were middle of the pack in the league this season up until that Minnesota game when everything just went to hell. Yeah. So that is one thing to keep in mind. This is not a bottom 5 red zone offense all year long. That game just killed their numbers. And now that game happened, we're paying a lot closer attention to what the Jets do when they're in the red zone.
Yeah. No, no, it's look. um, what that guy Kevin did, it's funny because he posted this telling the story like the Jet fan base would be on his side. It's like, sorry, Mr. Delusional Lunatic. The Jets fan base, the Jets fan base, like overall, is intelligent. And we understand that 25% of quarterbacks hit, 75% disappoint. Like, we're not going to judge Joe Douglas solely on quarterback. There's no way to know. More than 50% of the GMs in the NFL would have picked Zach Wilson with that pick if they were in the Jets situation. More than half, some say 75%. Nobody questioned it. Nobody. It was not a controversial pick. There were a few people who wanted Justin Fields, fine. But overall, the experts, all the experts, the other GMs, nobody made fun of the New York Jets when they took Zach Wilson. San Francisco 49ers were drooling for him. It is impossible to know 100% sure when you draft a quarterback. It's just not possible. Nobody has mastered that. We have watched so many quarterbacks get drafted. Look at last year's quarterback crop outside of Zach Wilson. Trevor Lawrence, every NFL team would have taken. So Jacksonville gets no credit for that. They did what they were supposed to do, right? Justin Fields, I think he's good potentially, but he hasn't proven it yet because he's really great as a running quarterback. I get it. I wish we had him.
He's one hit away from being RG3.
Right. He's one hit away from RG3. We're seeing it all the time. He's one injury away, and he hasn't developed enough as a pocket passer. If Justin Fields develops and becomes a great pocket passer, and the running is just an extra added on piece to him being a very competent passing quarterback, oh my God, he's a superstar, right? I mean, he's what Lamar Jackson has been a little bit of, maybe even better. And then when you look at the other guys, like Mac Jones has looked horrible and he's looked good. But I mean, nothing that blows you away. I mean, there's just no way to know. Trey Lance has barely played a game. He's going to be going into year 3 with no games under his belt. I mean, there's just no way to know. And then you got a guy like Brock Purdy, who was Mr. Irrelevant, last pick of the draft, and he's looking great, much better than Zach Wilson. I just, the point, going back to the point, is you can't blame Joe Douglas. Or like you can blame him for the one pick. You could say that wasn't the best pick, but to harass him after the team he's put together for us is stupid. The reason Kevin was at that game, the reason Kevin was so upset, the reason why that was a meaningful game that we lost was because Joe Douglas built us a real team where December games are relevant. Kevin wasn't able to freaking remember that.
Such a valid point. And then Bradley Chubb questionable return with a hand injury. All right. And then the fact that he actually went on air and actually recorded what happened, it's like, you're just digging your own grave, you moron.
Right. I'm not. Oh, shit. Jesus. Is he hurt now? I think he's hurt.
Maybe Jordan Love would actually help right now.
Oh, he's hurt.
You know what? Jordan Love, let's go.
You think? I don't know. I'm that kid doesn't impress me at all.
Yeah, I'm saying impresses me, but right now this ain't working. What we're seeing right now.
Do you think that Aaron Rodgers was just completely unmotivated? He just wanted that. He wanted to suck that.
He looks dazed in my mind. It's been a long year, and I really think the Packers are just ready for this friggin' season to end. Yeah. Considering what they're used to and what they're experiencing, it's amazing they're not mathematically eliminated.
Interception. Oh no, he dropped it. Oh my God, that was almost.
You gotta love those back-footed. You gotta love those back-foot passes. Yeah, where have we seen those before? Come on, this is. I'm sorry, this is not working right now.
No, that's not going our way, man. So
hey, I'll say this. I think Mike is currently having a better week coaching than Matt when it comes to the LaFleur brothers.
So what's going to end up happening is we're going to need Miami to lose next week. And we're going to need New England to lose against Buffalo in the final week.
I think what Nanny said. So I think what happened is if Miami beat Green Bay, there's a way that we would go into our game against Seattle being eliminated.
Oh yeah, just Miami. All Miami had to do was lose today, win next week, and the Jets win against Seattle. That's all that had to happen.
No, I said where the Jets would be out before they play the Seattle game.
Oh, out. Yeah,
So
yeah.
that would be Miami winning, the Chargers beating Indy, and the other game I want to say it was New England beating Miami. I think it was New England beating Miami, but I'll double check here. I'm gonna
Yeah,
check
that would
some.
no, that would make sense. Well, I mean, Miami winning both games takes away that spot. So if Miami wins this game and next week, and Chargers win one more game, we're out.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think I've got it here.
I mean, look,
Here it is.
most likely out.
If Miami wins their next two and the Chargers beat the Colts, then we're out. No matter what.
It's a flag.
So the sad thing is, I mean, I can't imagine any scenario where the Colts win. Well, Nick Foles is actually playing quarterback. Tomorrow night, right?
For who?
Against they're putting in Foles for Ryan against the Chargers, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think Nick Foles is in for Matt Ryan. So
whoever plays quarterback for the Colts, has to call the offense, right? They don't have anybody. They just kept the same playbook, and the quarterback calls the offense. Isn't that hysterical? They're lucky they have veteran quarterbacks, though. They're lucky that they had a guy like Ryan and they have Foles. They have veteran quarterbacks who can do that, but they don't have a play caller. They don't have anybody with any experience that's ever called an offensive play in the NFL.
Unbelievable. Yep. So it's if Miami wins this game, then the Chargers beat the Colts, and Miami beats New England next Sunday at 1 Eastern, then that's it. Then we're done.
Oh.
Just one of those three. Just one of the. That's why this game could have been really, really big if the Packers could somehow pull something off. I don't know how it's ever going to happen, but
hysterical. Look what he says. He cracks me up. Where's the super chats?
If you haven't learned by now, Tony, if you didn't learn after watching Thursday, then we know there's no reasoning with you, man. I mean, I don't know if he's your brother, your agent, if he was your best friend, if he's got pictures of your wife or something. I don't know what it is, but we learned exactly what Chris Streveler is. That's it. He's basically a little lesser version of Tim Tebow, pretty much. That's about it.
Well, I mean, he only got one quarter to play. It could have been he made one bad pass.
Yeah, we saw how he threw a football. The throwing motion, the way the ball wobbles, it was not pretty to see. All it takes is one team game planning against him, and oh my goodness, it would set the NFL back 10 years.
It did look like he was throwing a meatball.
Yeah, he was throwing like little duck. It was like playing duck hunt or something.
Yeah. It was interesting. It would look. It was better than what was going on in that game. Like it was because he did give us the most exciting, only happiness of the game. When he got down to that 15-yard line, there was a chance. Like if he gets the ball to the end zone, if we get a touchdown in that moment, we hold them 1, 2, 3 and out. There was time for another drive.
It was possible. I mean, I don't know. When we were watching the game, the Virginia Jets fans and I don't know which moment created a louder reaction: the sack and fumble recovery, or just seeing Chris Streveler run onto the field as the quarterback on that drive.
I know.
How sad is that?
That's what's going on, buddy. It's good to see you.
It is.
Look, I'm shocked that they didn't bring in Flacco. That was shocking to me. Shocking. I cannot believe that Joe Flacco fell that far down. Like, because he was that bad for that one. I mean, I know he had the horrendous 3 plays. He was so bad when he came in that game, when White came out. But wow, they just totally they elevated Streveler above him because of that. Like he went from the beginning of the year saying that Joe Flacco was good enough to start in the NFL. He went from that to I'm gonna, with the season on the line, put Streveler in.
Flacco just looks so disinterested.
Yeah.
He just his face reminds me a little bit of what Aaron Rodgers' face looks like right now.
Yeah.
I don't see too big of a difference. And how unbelievable is that?
This is a changing of the guard year. Like Brady is lost. His marriage, he's gone, he's out. Rodgers doesn't look the same. I think he'll come back for his money, but I don't know. I think we've seen the last of Aaron Rodgers being a top NFL quarterback. And then even like veteran guys, like you're saying, Matt Ryan, he's done. Stick a fork in him.
Yeah,
You know, Joe
Breeze
Flacco,
just retired. Yeah.
right. And Flacco obviously is gone. Andy Dalton is horrible in New Orleans. He probably won't be back.
I
Like
mean,
we're seeing,
Stafford may be on his way out too after these injuries, after this concussion situation. He
yeah,
got a Super Bowl. I wonder how much longer Matt Stafford would really play quarterback.
yeah. I don't know. So there's a changing of the
Russell
guard.
Wilson. Russell Wilson. Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, Russell Wilson's another one. That's
Oh,
like,
oh my gosh, damn. I saw one thing. Maybe the Jets should try to get Russell Wilson. I almost fell off my chair. I'm like, did you see that contract?
that's
That
ridiculous.
makes the Aaron Rodgers one almost look good.
Oh, fumble.
Come on,
Green
come on, come on.
Bay. Green Bay picked it up.
That's my defense. Green Bay, that's my team.
Oh, that could save the game and keep us in the game.
Who gets the ball to start the second half?
I believe
I think Green Bay does, but
Green
I'm not
Bay
sure.
does. Green
I
Bay.
think Green Bay does too. Okay, okay.
We are hardcore, Eddie. We're hardcore, baby. Hardcore. Hit the
Hey,
like
dude,
button, guys. Hit the like
it
button.
is 15 degrees outside where I am right now. Okay, and yeah, there's not a whole lot to do in Nashville right now on Christmas, but yeah, I'm serious. We're going to get dinner a little bit later at the Hard Rock Cafe. All right, and I'll probably be doing that about 3 o'clock, something like that, in a couple hours, not too long. But yeah, I mean, I think some of the honky tonks will be open, but not a whole lot else to do except to walk around and brave the wind and. Yeah, it is cold as can be out here. No matter where you go, it's pretty much cold. What's What's the temperature where you are right now?
It's been the highest, like been 55.
50s.
It,
Yeah.
starts at 35, goes up to like 55. Yesterday, it even hit 60 at one point,
Wow.
and then it goes back down really fast at like 6 p.m. It drops down back to the low 40s, mid 40s.
We got to Nashville on Friday. It was 9 degrees with 20-mile-an-hour winds.
Jeez.
In friggin' Tennessee, man. It was, oh my gosh. It was one of those things where you walk 5 minutes, then you just look for a door to go inside for a minute. Oh man, it was absolutely unbelievable.
Green Bay ball at the 50-yard line. Aaron Rodgers in the shotgun. Inaccurate short pass. Not that he was that open, but inaccurate. He was off.
Can you imagine Zach threw that past the Bluebirds right at that moment? I mean,
well, look, like going back to what we were saying before, we didn't finish the conversation.
Yeah.
So that guy Kevin was wrong, and the fact to show how delusional he is, he thought by telling that story that he believed he was right. He thought the Jet fan base would support him, waiting for an hour and yelling at Joe Douglas. Like, this is how detached some Jet fans are. We're not mad at Joe Douglas. Like, if you don't like Joe Douglas, you don't like having a future. You don't like being a relevant team. Joe Douglas is the first GM in years that made us. Right. I think that's the first down.
That's first down.
We're relevant because of Joe Douglas. We have a future because of Joe Douglas. And he did that in spite of a bust quarterback. You don't judge a GM on one draft pick of a quarterback. That means 75% of the GMs would be fired and considered failures. Like, you can't do that. Everything else Joe Douglas did was build us a football team.
You know what's amazing?
That guy Kevin was wrong, and that's an example of the toxicity of this fan base.
It's amazing to me because most people would consider. You can't be serious. They're not going to get this.
Oh, come on! They have to go for it, right? They have to go. For it.
Oh, you have to go for this. That'd be a 57-yard field goal. You absolutely go for this. Let the clock run down. Keep going. You have to go, and you better come up with a better freaking play call than we saw on 4th and 2. You better. Now you may not be able to run the. Is AJ Dillon out? Oh, that was Dillon. Oh, that makes
nobody blocked him. Nobody blocked him. Nobody blocked him.
Unreal.
Right through. Look at him banging on his pad.
Whatever I was going to say, I forgot. That annoyed me. That really annoyed me. Okay.
Oh, what a horror. Oh, no, it's a fake. Oh, my God. What a good catch. What a good throw and catch. My God. Lazard, I think that was. No,
way to hold that.
Watson.
Way to hold that ball, C-Dub.
Oh.
But here's the thing with Douglas. There's a lot of Jet fans who consider Mekhi Becton a bust already. All right, personally, I don't. To me, if a guy is capable of playing but he gets hurt, to me, that's not a bust. That's a different category. If you can't flat out play, then yes, that's a bust. But you throw in Zach Wilson, Laken Tomlinson, which was probably the marquee free agent that they signed. I think for most Jets fans, Laken Tomlinson, for a lot of them, that was the number one free agent target that they had. I was personally high on James Daniels, but I understood signing Tomlinson. I got the reasons why. He's disappointed. When you factor in your top free agent pick and your two of your three number one picks have, been letdowns. I would say letdowns at this point, and he's still doing this well. That is amazing. It is truly amazing what he has done in the lower parts of the draft and free agency, finding these undrafted rookies. He has done that so well. Man, just friggin' awesome. I didn't even know who DJ Reed was up until the Jets signed him.
Wow, that was a scary play.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, no, look, he finds players out of nowhere. I mean, DJ Reed was probably the best acquisition. Like he's up there in the entire NFL, a successful acquisition.
There's two big Pro Bowl snubs: Christian McCaffrey, DJ Reed. Those are the two biggest snubs, according to most.
Yeah. Oh, that's a huge snub.
That is just not a tight. Yeah, those passes. That's just not coming out right. It's not a tight A-Rod spiral.
It used to come out sooner. The defense has a lot of time to react. He used to get those passes out sooner.
That was the one thing Zach Wilson did do better, I thought, in that game against Jackson. Since he's come back, he's got the ball out faster. He would hold the ball for 3.5 to 4 seconds. Now he's getting it out in 3 seconds. So that's like the only thing that they're doing better, I would say, with Zach on offense. But still, I mean, some of the best quarterbacks, they get it out in 2-4, 2-5.
Quick, they did it quick. What the
hell? Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
There's a flag. Was that illegal procedure?
I think it's got to be illegal formation or an illegal sub.
You don't think they had too many guys?
Well, Rodgers just said bullshit, so I'm willing to bet that it's I'm willing to bet it's illegal formation. Oh, timeout Miami. So Miami calls their final timeout. All right, 3rd and 10. And okay, so this plays from the 30. I feel pretty good with Crosby from 47. Even though it's on grass.
Guys, it's 3rd and 10. Green Bay might be in field goal range already, which would make it a one-score game. Obviously, a touchdown would be much, much better. They still got plenty of time. How much time is left? Like a minute and a half?
48 seconds.
48 seconds. We're at 30-yard line. But, of course, their coach knows how to manage the clock a little better than Robert Saleh, so they may actually get some plays off here.
Mm-hmm.
3rd and 10, though, so field goal if we don't they need to execute here. Come on, Rodgers. You've done this a million times, Aaron Rodgers.
Is this a blitz?
Screen pass. Goes nowhere. That's not even good for better field goal range. That was stupid.
3 yards.
God, they're looking like the Jets. Okay.
I know. Who was playing the Ty Johnson / Michael Carter role for the Packers on that play, I wonder. You know the one I mean, the dump off to the running back that gets maybe half the yardage.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I mean, if you're going to do some kind of bullshit play like that, at least get 6-7 yards. Make it easier for your field goal kicker. Not 2 yards, 3 yards. So it's 4th and 8. He got 2 yards. That's pathetic. It's pathetic. It's pathetic.
Gosh. All right, well, they'll run it down to 7 seconds and call timeout.
Yeah, the important thing is you run it down. You don't give Miami a chance to score again, which before almost happened. And if you kick a field goal, it's a one-score game, as Billy points out. And again, considering the game is in Miami and we knew Green Bay was an underdog, we can't complain about that scenario. You can't complain.
Most definitely. Now, I'm assuming they're going to kick the field goal here. But okay, good. Crosby's on because I still can't believe they went for that 4th and 2. I still can't believe what they did on that play. All right, whoever that is definitely talking some trash. 94. All right, here we go. Come on, Crosby. 46 yards, 17 for 18 inside.
It's good. Right? No, it's not good. Oh, it is. It is. Oh, that was close. The angle looked bad.
Good. Yeah, that's good. That's
good. The end of it looked bad, bro. The end. I thought at the end it dropped off. I was like, oh no. Watch the replay. At the end, the ball just died.
Yep, never a doubt. All right, man. I'm gonna get going. Got to get ready to do a couple other things, but it's been fun jumping on with you. Let's enjoy the rest of the game. We'll talk soon. We'll see everybody Wednesday night, and go Jets.
All right. Take care,
All
brother. Thanks for stopping in.
right, bye.
Bye. It's back to just me as we head towards halftime. And as if, I had this dream that I did this game, and all of a sudden I went up to 100 viewers, and then I looked up and it was in the chat, and it was all of Tom Grassi's people, and I got raided by the Grassi posse, which I more than welcome. I would love it if that happened. But anyway, we're coming towards halftime. They are going to do the kickoff, so we've seen some weird things. So we've got to pay attention here. Like Green Bay can't fall asleep. Crosby kicks a squibber, if that's what you want to call it. He downed it. That was okay. He downed it. Good. Everybody's content to go into the locker room. Content. Yeah, come on, guys, hit the like button. Well, it might be more than 3, but you're not able to refresh, Tony. I mean, I hope it's more than 3 likes. If you guys are here, if you do me a favor and like the video, it looks pretty lousy for me. Like if you refuse to hit the like button, because then like YouTube is saying, why should we help this guy out and help him in the algorithm if nobody's even liking his video? Okay, Billy's seeing 20 likes, which is kind of on par. We haven't had a ton of people in here. I didn't expect on Christmas for to be a lot of people here, but I'm glad for those of you that are. Wild Wave is here. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Microfox, I appreciate that. We're working really hard. I have a video from my brother that he made, and I didn't have a chance to post yet. And I'm going to post it after this game. He's talking about quarterback situation, who's going to start next game, and that kind of thing. That's about as much as I'll say. But we got another one coming. Again, I appreciate it. Appreciate the kind words. I have these videos I make, and they have great momentum. But there's like 50,000 New York Jets content providers, and there's like 5 or 6 big ones, and one of them will just go live or make a video and just totally crush my video. And it's really frustrating, but there's nothing I can do about it. As they say, just do better. If I do better, then that won't happen. I just have to make better videos. But yeah, we're working really hard, so I appreciate the comment. So thank you. I also hate when I go backwards. It's like we were up. We had this many subscribers, and then it went down. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? The life of a YouTube content provider. Oh no. Okay. I'm up still. That's good. So here we are in halftime, hanging out, chilling. What do you guys want for Christmas? What should I say? Did you guys get what you want for Christmas? That's a better way to ask it. Did you guys get what you wanted for Christmas? Let me see what's going on here. What did you want for Christmas, Jets gang? Can someone tell me what the difference from Jets in WFT, Colts, Panthers, and Broncos? Can someone tell me what difference from Jets in WFT, Colts, Panther? I don't understand. It's probably my fault. I don't understand. You want for Christmas a Jets win? That's a good answer. I don't know if it's your typos or it's just me being clueless and not understanding what you're trying to say. Sometimes it's things I should understand what you're trying to say, and I just don't understand because I'm an old clueless man. Billy C says, we're watching this game. We don't know if we're getting what we want for Christmas yet. Sherb says, happy holidays. Well, happy holidays to you, Sherb. Sherb. Every time I see Sherb, I think of Sherbert. I remember in Brooklyn, me and my friends would hang out outside this supermarket called Edwards in the parking lot. Just before I moved to California the first time, I probably was like 23 years old. We'd hang out in this parking lot. My friend's Camaro, blast the music, just chilling, like 4 of us. And every once in a while, we'd go into this supermarket, Edwards, and everybody's buying snacks and stuff. And what I did was, and by the way, I saw you there. What's up, mess? Everybody's buying snacks and junk food and stuff. like a bag of Doritos and a drink or whatever you got back then. Then my friend Mo was getting like dehydrated green beans because he has to be healthy. And I literally got one of those tubs of sherbet. I think like the rainbow, I forgot, like orange cream, maybe it was rainbow. Like it had all the different colors. It was a big, like round tub of sherbet. And I literally asked up front if they sold. I was going to buy a whole package of spoons, but the woman said that they had in their deli section, and she gave me like a plastic thing with a fork, spoon, and knife and napkin. So I was able to pull out this little plastic spoon with like of sherbet, and I opened up the top and just hanging out in my friend's Camaro, eating a 1 gallon tub of sherbet. It was very interesting, very memorable. Saying how are we different from all the other teams that won a quarterback away? Still trash. All them teams had top 5 defenses, top 5. We ain't working out with. We still ain't working out with quarterback. Yeah, we need a quarterback. We need a quarterback. It doesn't make us a Super Bowl contender. Like getting a functional quarterback. Even Mike White staying healthy, we're in the playoffs, and we're not in this situation. I think it's my opinion. Can't prove it. But I think we win that New England game, the second game, if Mike White is starting, because he was able to drive the ball against every defense he's played against. I mean, we would have gotten field goals. And that would have changed the whole game, and New England still may have won. I know. I understand that. But, with Zach, we weren't even for real. We had no chance to win against the Jaguars. I don't know that Mike White would have won us that game, but at least it would have been a game. It wasn't even a game with Zach Wilson. So functional quarterback play, and we're a real team, a playoff team. Functional quarterback play. Now, what if you get better? What if you get better than functional? I don't know that it's out there. I think Gary Minshew is very overlooked. I know he threw some picks yesterday, but I think he's very overlooked. The guy has a career 65 completion percentage. I mean, and Frankie said it on his channel, and before the season, he goes, you get a quarterback that gives you 65, 67% completion percentage over the course of a season. With this defense, Breece Hall next year being back, an offensive line hopefully being a little healthier, it's over, man. We're real. We're real. So can Gary Minshew, if we were to get him, can he run our system? And the real question is if Mike White must be so frustrated. He finally has an opportunity to be a starter. He really does. Because if he came in, if he didn't get hurt, and we would have beaten Detroit and Jacksonville and made a playoff run, he would have a legitimate chance to say, hey, there's no, a chance to compete to be a starting quarterback. But now this injury is totally screwing him up because nobody respects this kid. I don't know why no one respects him. I'm not overrating him. I'm not saying he's great. I don't know why everybody's so sure he's not good enough to be a good quarterback. What's the evidence that he's not good enough? His draft position? The fact that we found him on the garbage heap? That if that's the only thing, I don't see that much. Like everyone said, oh, he has a weak arm. He can't throw. It's not true. We watched him throw down the field. He was fine. He was throwing the ball at the middle levels. I don't know what people are talking about. I don't want to overrate the kid. I'm not sitting here saying Mike White's the answer. But I certainly don't feel qualified or don't have any piece of evidence that I could talk about that definitively proves that Mike White can't be a good NFL quarterback. Sorry. I just don't see the evidence. And like I know you're saying he couldn't score versus the Vikings, but that was horrible play calling. And again, it's one game. You can't judge a quarterback on one game. It's like Zach Wilson was given over 20 games and people were screaming and crying. Give him time, give him time, give him time. Mike White has played in 6 games. And he was still much, much better than Zach Wilson in that Viking game. Like he's still way, way better than Zach Wilson. And by the way, he threw a touchdown pass. Berrios dropped it. It's not Mike White's fault that Berrios dropped the touchdown pass. He literally threw it between his shoulders in the end zone. Him falling to the ground. It was a beautiful pass. And it was 6 inches from being the perfect pass, like the imaginary fantasy computer generated pass. I mean, it literally hit the right side of his chest, even though he was moving fast and falling on the ground. I mean, Berrios didn't catch it. If Berrios catches it, then none of this and we end up beating Minnesota. Nobody's saying Mike White couldn't score against Minnesota. He could. Is it his fault that every single drive was stopped by Mike LaFleur, who had to call a stupid trick play and put us backwards on every one of those drives? And I'm not sitting there saying it may have been evidence. It may have been a first piece of evidence. It may have been a sign of why Mike White will never be an NFL quarterback, because a big test is scoring in the red zone. But Zach Wilson can't even get a first down. And in the same exact offense, Mike White moves the team up and down the field. So, I mean, there's a big difference, and you keep saying he's a fifth-year quarterback. It doesn't matter. He sat on the bench for 3 years. He did nothing. Now he's a veteran, right? Last year, when we were going into the season, we don't have any quarterbacks that have taken an NFL snap, right? And now all of a sudden he's a 5-year veteran. I mean, give me a break. Come on with this nonsense. You don't have evidence that he's not a good quarterback. I'm not saying he is. There's no evidence that he's a good NFL quarterback, because 5 or 6 games is not enough to prove either. But he didn't come in and suck for 6 games. In the games that he played, he didn't come in incompetent. Zach Wilson's incompetent. Mike White's not incompetent. Now, if I was a gambling man, I don't want to argue over something that we don't even disagree with, Jets gang. I mean, if I was a gambling man, I would say that Mike White is going to be a backup quarterback his whole career. And he's not a good NFL quarterback. But I'm saying that's my opinion. I can't prove it. I can't prove it based on the games we saw, because he played so much better than the other quarterback that we had played. So much better, beyond better, worlds better. I don't care who the defense was. Mike White won the Minnesota game for us. Berrios said, "I don't want the ball," and dropped it. So whatever he did. That's not on Mike White. It was a perfect pass. Okay, I hate having not getting to call it what it was. It was a perfect pass. I don't care about the 6 inches that people want to point out. Nobody does that with any other quarterback in the NFL in history. Nobody points out 6 inches and says it should have been perfect. Even though the wide receiver went against the playbook, which was a good thing, Berrios improvised and was very smart. He found the space. Mike White was able to predict he was going to find the space. It was a timing play that was improvised and threw the ball in. Berrios will tell you himself that it's on him. So there's no argument. Braxton Berrios will say, "I fucked up. I dropped the game-winning pass." Braxton Berrios will tell you that. Braxton Berrios is not saying, and don't say, "Oh, well, anybody says that for their quarterback." No, he's saying it because it's true. It was a perfect pass. It was as good a pass as you could ask any quarterback in the NFL to throw in that situation. Berrios dropped the ball. Both his hands were on the ball. He dropped it. He couldn't pull it in. Defender's arm didn't get in there. Defender's hand didn't get in there. He simply choked and dropped the ball. It happened. Otherwise, totally different world. Mike White beats the Minnesota Vikings in their stadium. A team that's won, 13 games? What are they, 13-2 or something, or 12-2? Guess what? We beat them if Berrios holds on to that ball, and we beat him with Mike White. Does that mean Mike White's a good quarterback? Does that mean I want him to be the answer? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we don't have evidence that he's not playing. You can't, Jets gang, you're being like Jets forever now. If it was an easier throw, that's so dumb. It was in the goal line, dude. It was on the goal line. He threw the ball in there. He had to sneak it in there. Those defenders right there. He snuck it in there. He had to throw the ball that hard. You cannot say that was a bad pass. No one that knows anything about football. We watched it over 5 times on all 22. It was the perfect pass. It was in his hands. He had it in his hands. It wasn't thrown too hard. It didn't bounce off of him. He caught it and dropped it. There's no argument. You got to stop doing this nonsense because you want to believe it's true. I don't want to believe that Mike White did good. I want to believe he did bad, so I'm going to lie to myself. I'm going to imaginary pretend that what I'm seeing isn't real. No one in the world calls that a bad pass. No NFL analyst, everyone on the news, every replay that was played, everybody said Braxton Berrios dropped the pass. Nobody said that Mike White wasn't able to throw a good pass. Nobody. Braxton Berrios dropped a good pass. That's what it was. That's what happened. Just because you want to believe it. If the quarterback you liked threw it, you wouldn't say it was bad. You're saying Conklin was open, but he's following. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He found the open guy. He threw it perfectly. Berrios dropped the ball. He did the right thing. He won us the game, or he put us up by. We should have been up with 90 seconds left. For the love of God, what game were you watching? What are you doing? Who complains about a quarterback who throws the ball into the chest of a guy in the end zone? Who complains about that? Like, what world are you living on? I don't understand. Are we on Mars? Are we in the Twilight Zone? I can't believe I have to relive this with another delusional fan. Give me a break. He threw it into his chest in the end zone. He did the right thing. It's absolutely insanity. Not saying that Mike White is the guy, but you can't say that's the reason. Especially when we have a piece of shit quarterback, Zach Wilson, who can't complete a 5-yard screen to an open guy. And we're going to criticize a guy who at the end of a game in crunch time throws the ball to somebody's chest in the end zone? Really? I mean, we got people saying we should have kept Darnold. Why? Because Darnold had a decent game yesterday. Like, Darnold sucks. Darnold sucks. Maybe we should have kept Darnold and traded the pick down and gotten 1 million more picks. But we'd still have a problem at quarterback, right? Although Sam Darnold is better than Zach Wilson. But is he the answer? Is what he wanted? I understand you said hindsight. But is he the answer? Like, Sam Darnold wouldn't have been the good part of holding him. The best part about holding Sam Darnold would have been that we could have traded down that pick with San Francisco and had 3 first-round picks. And who knows who we would have ended up picking, and we would still, that would have been the best part of it. But, I have no regret about Sam Darnold not being our quarterback because, it's Sam Darnold. I mean, Jesus Christ, he sucks, But, I won't get into a debate about Sam versus Mike White. Again, we don't know enough about Mike White. But even if we did, I think Mike White's a backup quarterback, and I think Sam Darnold is a backup quarterback. Like, if I had Sam Darnold on the team, I'd want him in the same place I would want Mike White. Good, solid backup. Knows how to play in the NFL. Not the guy you want as your starting quarterback. Now, who has the bigger upside? Who could prove us wrong more and be better? Again, I'll call it a tie. I'll call that a tie also. Because the truth is that Sam Darnold did have a sucky situation. Like, the Jets were a shitty circumstance for him. Then he went to Carolina. He was looking good, and CM2 got hurt, and their coach was a disaster. They were a disaster last year. I'm not going to sit there and scream Sam Darnold was robbed of his career, because a great quarterback if he was great, he would have overcome all that, because that's what great quarterbacks do. Deshaun Watson was on Houston playing great with a crappy team. But I don't know. Sam Darnold, Mike White, I mean, same thing, right? Not really our answer. Not going to get anybody excited. Green Bay, running Dylan, first down. Yes, Green Bay's moving the ball. So if it was possible to get Lamar, I want him to. Here's the problem with Lamar. I mean, of course we want Lamar. I mean, and that's what you have to understand. I'm not saying Mike White. I'm not saying there's anything I saw in Mike White that would make me at all ever think that it should be Mike White and not Lamar Jackson. Mike White is our quarterback right now. Like, he's our QB1 if he's healthy. Like, on our roster right now, it's Mike White. But if you can get Lamar, you get Lamar. I just don't see how we could do it financially. I don't know the path on how we can get Lamar. Also, the one thing you have to know is he is not an unrestricted free agent. So Lamar might not even be a possibility, right? Unless now you're talking about paying him $50 million and trading for him. So you'd have to give up tons of draft capital, which is not really working out for teams. Like look at Denver, look at Cleveland. Giving away tons of draft capital and tons of money is not really working out that well. It's not a very good strategy for a team. Here's the problem with Lamar. Lamar, people think he's a free agent. He's not. Even though because they could put a franchise tag on him. They could do it for 2 years. They got 2 years control over Lamar. So yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't think Jimmy G would be a ton of money, honestly. But I agree with you, Jets gang. I would rather have Gary Minshew. Because Gary Minshew would probably cost $3 to $4 million. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he'd be more, but I don't know. I don't know who else is going to go for him. So I could be wrong though. He might be. Maybe he's a little more, but he might have the same upside as Jimmy G, and Jimmy G would probably cost $20 million. Although I want to say, who's paying Jimmy G $20 million? Tennessee. Rodgers gets rid of the ball to the running back, first down. They're Miami 40-yard line. So hey, we got a game here. Green Bay's down only by a touchdown. They're driving. They're at Miami's 40-yard line. So there's a chance we got a game. So some people don't like Minshew. I don't know why you don't like Minshew. I don't was it because of yesterday's game? Again, we need to. Oh, thank you for what I'm saying. Just trading for a quarterback ain't move. Yeah, I think it's just really tricky. I think it's just really tricky to get a look. There's a reason why it's hard to get a quarterback in the NFL. It's not an accident that we're not the only team that struggled with this. Aaron Rodgers in the pocket is getting sacked. No, he escapes and throws it up. And oh, what a catch! What a catch! I didn't see who that was. It was a great catch near the in the red zone. I think inside the 10-yard line. Who the hell was that? That was Lewis. That was great. That was their tight end, 89, Lewis. Looked like Aaron Rodgers was sacked. He escaped. He took a couple of steps out and threw a dime. I mean, this was a perfect pass. I mean, wow. That was Aaron Rodgers when he was young. That was a perfect pass. Right over the shoulder, perfectly placed. Only place you could play it. Brings Green Bay to the 7-yard line. Here's Aaron Rodgers in shotgun. They hand it off to Jones or Dillon, who powers the ball all the way to the goal line. Is he in? I mean, he was hit at the 5-yard line, people, and he pushed back. This is Dillon. He pushed back the Miami defenders 5 yards. It was unbelievable. I can't believe what I'm watching. Green Bay is exploding. Beautiful pass from Brett Favre to their captain, tight end Lewis. He's a captain. He has a C on his shoulder. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. Microfox is determined to convince us that Minshew's not the guy. I don't know. He's better than any quarterback we've had in the past 10 years. So I don't know what you're saying. Touchdown, Dillon. Now, Minshew might not be the guy that we need or want, but he's better than any quarterback we've had in a long time. We could have Minshew and White for less than $15 million combined. That wouldn't be a bad thing, and then they compete for the job. But look, the problem is that we should all be not telling you what to do, but I'm sad. You see how I talk about Zach Wilson so bitterly? It's not because I don't like Zach Wilson, the person. It's because it's hard not to be frustrated and upset because his failure has hurt this organization in such a deep way. We are in so much trouble now. And to me, if Zach Wilson works out and he was good, we're literally thinking Super Bowl, in the next few years. We're thinking, oh my God, it's really happening. And instead, I'm thinking, yeah, we can get a competent quarterback and be a playoff team. But are we going to beat Patrick Mahomes? Are we going to beat Josh Allen and the Bills because we have a competent quarterback? I don't know. We beat the Bills with Zach Wilson when he played his best game of the season. So, and it wasn't special, it was just competent. But are we really going to get through a playoff that way? Because remember, the playoffs is not one upset. To get through the playoffs, we have to win multiple games. Can we do that? You guys can argue all you want about Gary Minshew. I say if he's cheap, what do we got to lose? You know what I mean? Like, if he's cheap, what do we got to lose? And but we could have won maybe 10 games with Mike White. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not saying it, Jets gang, don't go crazy. I'm not saying it because I'm not. That's not me saying Mike White is great. That's me saying competent, like at any level of competence. We have to understand we've had Zach Wilson play at least 4 games this year, right? The 2 against New England, the 1 against Jacksonville, where he is 100% in every way incompetent, like not even functional, like really, really bad, as unimaginably bad. So if you put in a competent quarterback in those games, maybe we win. You know what I mean? Maybe we're a playoff team. Now, I know people don't like, Jimmy G, you don't like him, you don't like him. I know he's not a star, but, I know he's not a star, but, like, what are we going to do? Like, we need someone. At least Jimmy G showed with a good defense and a good running game, he was competent enough that to go all the way to Super Bowl, 10 minutes with a lead, 10 minutes to go in the game. He came within like just a grasp of the Super Bowl. The rumor, it's so funny that like rumor mill, we've been told. What does that mean? Okay, so forget about that one idiot who came out and said, that one guy, by the way, is just a Fox reporter. He doesn't know anyone in the Jets building that's of any substance. That guy just talking out of his ass. He doesn't have a source. He's doing the same thing we've been talking about. When we say Zach is done in New York, we've all been saying that. That's why we're talking about Jimmy G, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers. All of that is us saying Zach is done in New York. But here's what that guy, and here I could prove he's a liar, that he has no real source. Because the Jets have no way out of Zach Wilson. As far as when you say move on, they already moved on. They already took away his starting job. He's already not the QB1 of the New York Jets. So we didn't need this guy Glazer to tell us that. When Glazer says move on, like get rid of Zach Wilson, we can't. We're better off keeping him as the 53rd man inactive every week. You have to understand that. He has $9 million cap hit on our team. He is a $20 million cap hit off our team. There's no escape from it. No escape unless we cut him and another team paid him $20 million. Because the one thing in our contract says, whatever money we owe you, that was the thing where he held out and we almost didn't sign Zach. The one piece that Joe Douglas stuck true to is that whatever money another team pays him comes off what we owe him. The problem is if we cut him, he'd be a $20 million cap hit. And what do you think another team is going to pay Zach Wilson? A Zach Wilson who has no motivation to make them pay for him because he automatically is getting our $20 million. He's just going to sign at the minimum and make the Jets pay him. Why would he make his new team pay him? It doesn't make any sense for him. So we're not going to get any cap relief. It's a $20 million hit this year. And I think it's like a $15 million hit next year, the year after that. There's no way out of Zach. We have to keep him as our backup quarterback, even if it's third string. He just has to be our third string quarterback. It sucks. It's going to take up a spot on the roster every week for the next 2 years. We're going to have to waste a dress, 48 guys dress. One of them, we don't have to dress him. We don't have to dress Zach. But we have to take up a 53-man roster spot with him for 2 seasons. There's no other way out, my friends. We're stuck. I want a quarterback who could take over a game, dude. I really do. I just don't know who that is and how we get him at an affordable price. I'm just trying to be realistic. I just don't know how it happens. By the way, it's a tie game and Miami has the ball. I keep forgetting I'm supposed to be doing this. What's this? $12.50 an hour. You make more than that as a chef, don't you? I think you make more than that. We have to keep Zach. It's a financial thing. That's the problem with big bonus money. Big bonus money traps you. It's like almost like that's what LA, the Rams, and New Orleans do with every player. Oh shit! Miami just ran through the line of scrimmage on 3rd and 1. Luckily, they didn't pull a Jets and give up a touchdown. But anyway, it's 2020. It's a tie game. 5 minutes in the third quarter, and it's going to be a close game. I mean, look, I'm glad that at least Green Bay is in this game. Their defense has not been impressive at all. Yet they're still in the game, which we're lucky. I don't know. I thought Miami was better than this, and I'm not going to look. I'm not goofing on Miami. I'm not going to beat down on Miami. They're better than the Jets right now. I mean, we all know that. If we don't know that, we're out of our minds. But I honestly thought Miami was better than this. Like if Green Bay's defense was going to play this poorly, I would have guessed Miami would be running away with this game. I'm shocked we're in a tie game right now. Really, I'm really surprised by it. But I guess the Green Bay's defense is kind of like, they're not completely breaking, and their offense is playing a little bit better than they have. Christian Watson's playing. He's playing very well. He's playing very well. I think he already has a touchdown, some good receptions. Yeah, that would be the dream, right? But when does that ever happen for us where we get a guy that, we don't get a guy in any round. But, Miami, he completes the pass. Darn it. We had them stopped. Darn it. First down, Miami. Who was that? I don't even know that guy. Yeah, I don't know who we could pick. This is the year where we might get lucky and have the opportunity. Because I know once you get out of the first round, you get out of the big bonus money. This might be the year we have the opportunity. That guy, there's a quarterback. His last name is Hooker. I'm not being dirty or anything. You guys have heard of him. He tore his ACL or something, so he's going to slip in the draft. If that guy Hooker slips down to us in the second round, I say we go for it. I say every year we go for it until we find our quarterback. Like you keep taking chances. I don't know what we're going to do. Oh, Tua. Oh, my God. He almost made an amazing play. He was being sacked, and he kind of threw the ball away. But it won't be grounding because it could have been an interception. That was a Zach Wilson bonehead move. He tried to be a hero, and it almost cost him because that was almost an interception. But Tua is sneaky, man. Oh, the way that was he should have just taken the sack. That was risky. But he got away with it. Anyway, we take this kid Hooker. I like him too, Hooker. He's not a good passer. Well, if he's not a good passer, then we can't do it. We can't take a guy that we know is not a good passer. You know what I mean? I'm not that kind of football fan. I don't want a project. If you know what I mean, if we're going to draft I'll use a second round pick on a quarterback, they have to be a good passer. No more of this. Oh, but if we teach him we thought Zach was a good passer. And he's not a good passer. So we can't take someone we know is not a good passer. Well, some of you will claim you knew that Zach wasn't a good passer. If we draft Hooker, we have to make him the absolute best at sidearm throws. Wow. I'm not liking it, guys. I'm pulling back. What does Rusty say about him? The LSU dude? Okay. I'll take a guy from LSU. Oh, we got two under pressure. Man, we got to stop letting him roll out. Okay, good. 3rd and 8. All right. Defense is looking better for Green Bay. They're starting to wake up. That's good. Starting to wake up. Hooker can throw. Okay. I mean, we got to do something. And you never know, right? Anybody you draft could work out. You never know with quarterback. Second round is much more important than first round. We cannot, for the money, the bonus, the whole thing. Once we get through that first round, if somebody slips after the first round, that's much more salary cap friendly to grab a quarterback if we believe they have a chance to be good. But again, do you want to go next? You want to roll next year with the rookie? I don't think we're going to do that. Oh, he missed the field goal, I think. Did he miss it or did he make it? I can't tell. I think he missed it. Let me look, guys. Miami went for the field goal. Oh, he missed it. He shanked it. 2:25 left in the third quarter. Tie game. Green Bay gets the ball back. Yes. Hey, Rusty, man. We got to figure something out, Rusty, because I can't see you. So, look, Rusty Spooner, we need to get you back on this channel. So here's what we're going to do. I swear to God, my channel, like this channel has been damaged because we don't have Rusty Spooner. I mean, you guys can see him, but I can't. So it's ruining the experience for me. He's one of the most important viewers / commenters. He always has been because he puts in great value. Because Rusty Spooner has very good understanding of college football. So he's my go-to guy to ask about players. Not that I don't trust any of you guys. I respect all your opinions. Like Eddie, I believe you're saying Hooker can throw, but now somebody's saying he can't. So I don't know. So I don't know what the returner Rusty Spooner is saying. But Rusty Spooner, here's what I want you to do, please. And I know you're probably telling everybody you're doing this, but I'm telling you it has to be the problem. You need to go to the right corner of your computer if you're on a computer. You see where it has the picture of you, whatever picture you have up there on your channel. When you click on it, one of the buttons is called YouTube Studio. If you go into YouTube Studio, click on YouTube Studio. When you click on YouTube Studio, if you look to the left of the screen and you slide down the panel, one of the choices is going to be community. If you click the community tab, on the page that comes up, there's going to be an area with blocked people in it. To the right of each person, there's a little X, so you can take away that blocked person. I don't know what it's going to say. It might say NFL Chaos with Jeremy. It might be the old name. I don't know. But you have to unblock it. You have to hit that little X. Because I looked, I don't have you blocked. I could see your comments to my videos even, but I can't reply to them or even like them because you have me blocked. So I need you to unblock me so I can see you. So remember, go to the picture, your icon, hit it, go to YouTube Studio, then go to the left column and look for community. Please, I need you back, Rusty. Either that or create another username. Like build an account off your accounts. Have a backup one that says Chaos, Rusty Chaos. And every time you see me on, go into your Rusty Chaos account and come on. How about that? Try that. I need you here, dude. Anyway, Green Bay got the ball. Good pass from Rodgers into the stomach of number 87. Dobbs. They got two good receivers. They just need time to develop. Dobbs is good. I think he comes from Penn State, right? He's a guy that we talked about in many drafts. And then Christian Watson. So they got two rookies that were in a wide receiver draft that was crazy. So anyway, it is 1st and 10. That's another first down for Green Bay. Let's hope they score here, guys. Historically, we're horrible at developing quarterbacks, but I don't think that's the problem. I think the bigger problem is we're horrible at picking quarterbacks. Because remember, great quarterbacks don't have to be developed. They're just great quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Indianapolis developed Peyton Manning. I don't think this Jacksonville, I think the coaches are good and they're doing great things with him. And they're doing a great job with Trevor Lawrence. But Trevor Lawrence was going to be good. He was going to be good no matter who his coaches were, as long as he had a good team around him. You know, great players are great players. Great quarterbacks are great quarterbacks. I think we just need to pick better. We need to hit the lottery. We need to get the better guy. Otherwise, do what Jets gang is saying. We need to sign an established quarterback one day and just pay the money one day when we have it. Like in a rebuild, whatever we do, we need to just say we're going to be a team that buys a quarterback and finds a way to build and then draft around them, whatever it has to be. But like Burrow. It didn't matter where Burrow was going to go. Burrow is Burrow. He's going to be a great quarterback no matter what. You know what I mean? It's like you got to pick a guy like that. You got to get the right guy. We thought Zach Wilson was the right guy. He's just not the right guy. I mean, it's awful. Awful thing to happen to us as a fan base. That the kid we picked didn't work out. I understand there were people who didn't like Zach Wilson out of the draft, but it really bothers me when you get Jet fans who celebrate being right. Even as bad, because it's so bad for the Jets as an organization, and then you have Jet fans celebrating that our quarterback's a bust, celebrating the fact that we're screwed. Like it's just the worst to me. Hate those kind of fans. I wish there was a way to ban them from being fans. I'll take a healthy Mike White. Zach is back up. He might get better with some more development. We need a safety. Young linebackers really have the best defense in the whole league. Yeah, there's a safety out there I love in my mock draft. The guy from Alabama. I keep forgetting his name. I love that guy. I wish I knew how Rusty felt about him, but I can't see Rusty. But I love the safety from Alabama. He would be such a difference maker for us. My God. You can't imagine. Like, you put him in there at free safety. No more LaMarcus Joyner getting hurt or LaMarcus Joyner. Forget this Will Parks baloney or Adams, all these guys that they are in love with. You stick that stud in there. And then you got Whitehead, and just keep Whitehead in the box. Maybe find another guy that's better in passing situations, and you could freaking pull Whitehead out because he's awful against the pass. I think the linebacker situation is not great, but I don't know. I don't know what the answer is for linebacker, because it doesn't feel like C.J. Mosley's the problem, right? And Jamian Sherwood can't play any other linebacker position other than what Mosley plays in the center. Like, is that true? Like, where the hell is Jamian Sherwood? Like, why can't they get him in the game in one of the other spots? I mean, the guy came in for Mosley. C.J. Mosley missed 4 plays. Sherwood came in and made 3 solo tackles in 4 plays. He was amazing. Like, I don't understand. We can't get this kid on the field somehow? Are you kidding me? We can't cut Mosley either, because that's like a $15 million cap hit or something. Maybe not. Maybe post June 1st we might be able to get out of it. Not that I don't like CJ Mosley. I'm just saying he might be overpriced when you have a guy like that might be able to come in and just be almost as good, We need more speed with the outside linebackers. I agree. I mean, I think we get so hung up on these guys for the plays that they make that we forget they're not good. They're not. As soon as we don't get pressure and we need our linebackers to cover well, they suck. They suck. We just need to fix the linebacker situation. And sometimes it could be one jolt of energy. Man, can you imagine a healthy Dean, Jacoby Dean, or N'Kobe Dean? That would have been nice. Could the Jets give another team a draft pick to eat some of Zach's contract? I think Denver did that with Otwell. It's possible. It's possible. It's a lot of money to eat, though. It's a lot. $20 million cap hit, 15 next year. So you talk about $35 million over 2 years, 20 and 15. 20 million and then $15 million cap hit. That's a lot of money to eat. You'd have to find a you'd have to find a team in a total rebuild for that. That's not having salary cap issues. That says, okay, we could suck it up and waste money for 2 years, but take the picks. I mean, wouldn't that suck though? Like, we'd have to, and I don't even know if it's legal. I don't know if you're allowed to trade away the financial commitment, because I think we did it as bonus. So I don't know that we're even able to get out of it, Joe. I think because we did it as a bonus, we're stuck. Green Bay, deep pass off the hands on 1st and 20. It was off the hands. Trying to see who the receiver was of Dobbs. I don't know that it was catchable, but it was close. It was almost there, guys. It's just sometimes it's not anybody's fault. It was almost there. It was almost there. It was almost a perfect pass, almost a great catch. A lot of almost in there. Really can't be mad at anybody for it. It's just a deep pass that's hard to execute that wasn't executed. but not because anybody did anything horrible. Rodgers throws up the middle to Dylan. He was coming slanting in the middle. He was lined up as a receiver. That got some of the yardage back. It's third down, but it's going to be third and very long. It's going to be very difficult for Green Bay to keep this drive alive. I don't know if they're in field goal range. I got to take a look, see where they are. It's the fourth quarter, by the way, and Green Bay's got the ball in a tie game, so this is good. 3rd and 15, not in field goal range. It would be 57 yards. I doubt they're going to try that. Let's see if they can get closer, get into field goal range at least. Rodgers rolls to the right, steps up in the pocket, throws deep, downfield, intercepted. In the end zone. Intercepted. I don't see any laundry. Wow. So it'll be Miami ball. Just consider well, if you're gonna turn the ball over, interception in the end zone at least. They took a shot, and at least they don't have great field position. They didn't call the PI, JC. He was asking for it, but they didn't call it. I think Mosley's having a good year. The problem is he's like 20 million or something. And if you have a Sherwood, if Jamie and Sherwood could come in and be 80, 90, 85, 90% of Mosley, he's free. And then you free up all that money. You see what I'm saying? But I don't even know if you free up the money because I think it's guaranteed money. I think we would take the hit either way. So I think we're just stuck with Mosley another year anyway. I don't know what the year after that looks like. I think we're okay the year after that. So, but next year, Mosley's ours. Yeah, they don't like to call PI anymore, bro. They just don't do it anymore. It's not something that we see. We're not seeing a lot of pass interference. I think that they're deciding they don't want it to decide games, but the problem is they're allowing the defense to cheat. So, you know. I don't know why. Dom C just said Mazel Tov to me in a text. I have no idea why. Did I say anything? Did anything happen? Nothing good happened in my life? Why are you saying Mazel Tov? Maybe he's just saying Mazel Tov because it's a Jewish thing and he's trying to make me feel like he respects or embraces my Jewish culture, which I haven't even really embraced unless you count bagels and lox as embracing Jewish culture. I do have matzo ball soup in the fridge, but that's only because my father-in-law sent us a Katz's Deli package, not because of me. Maybe I like matzo ball soup because I'm Jewish. Oh, possibly. I don't know. Let's see. We got a comment. No, okay. Just trying to stay in touch with what's going on everywhere else, guys. Boy, I wish I can bring it up. Okay, here we go. So, by the way, it's a timeout or something, or it's a turnover. So we've got money timeout. It was such a clear pass interference that it's disgusting. Like the Miami defender physically shoved the receiver forward and caught the ball instead, and the refs didn't call it. Merry Christmas. I don't like seafood. My dad loves gefilte fish, microfox. He goes to Costco during the Passover time of year and buys tons of those giant bottles and stores it. Interception, Green Bay. Interception, and he's running it back. 20 to the 10 to the 15-yard line. No flag. I don't see any yellow. Yes. All right, Green Bay. Go Pack, go. What the hell is their chant? What do they say? Go Pack, go. Pack, pack, pack. I don't even know what their cheer is. Pack time. Packer, Packer, Packer. I don't know. I'll make my own up. Packer, Packer, Packer. Sauce Gardner, baby. He didn't get the interception, but it was a sauce-like play. So let me do the sauce wipe. The sauce wipe. All right, baby. I'll take that interception. What about Chulant? I don't know what Chulant is. I just know I got matzo ball soup downstairs. We got some of those square knishes. The square fried ones. We don't get access to that over here. So we got 4 of those in the freezer. Me and my wife is gluten-free, but she cheats and is willing to be a little sick to eat them. I cannot wait to put the mustard on them. Oh. And then the pastrami is easy. Just got to boil it like it's in a vacuum pack. But I got leftover prime rib, about 3 pounds. Aaron Rodgers drops back in the pocket. It gets deflected. Oh, thank God it wasn't picked. It hit the ground. I hate deflected passes. My God, that was scary. Come on, we just need some points, Green Bay. Come on. Come on, Aaron Rodgers. What happened to you? Let me do my Apollo Creed. What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you? Cheese, cheese, cheese. Cheese, cheese, cheese. You should be eating Chinese food and going to the movies today. We have too much food. We have way too much food. I would, but I have over 3 pounds of prime rib left over. Someone gave us this 6-pound prime rib, and it's just me and my wife. How much can we eat? I have so much left over. I don't know how to reheat it though, because it's perfect medium rare. And it's wrapped up. I don't know what to do. Maybe 20 seconds in the microwave just to get it to room temperature, and then just eat it. Maybe slice it cold for sandwiches. I don't know. The problem is prime rib is so fatty. When it's cold, it's disgusting. Like the meat part's okay, but all that fatty pieces, you can't do that, right? You got to heat it up a little. I don't know. Okay, so the charges will not be relevant. The charges could help us by losing, but like if they lost out, it would help us. But Rodgers, he got that away just in time. The charges are irrelevant for the way our path to this playoffs. And I mean that by saying we have to assume we already lost the Chargers spot. The way we're going to get into the playoffs is beating out Miami and New England. They called a penalty on that. Oh, he threw the ball away. Illegal grounding. No, can't be grounding. It was a completed pass. I don't know what the hell the penalty was. But anyway, so the Chargers aren't what's relevant. It doesn't matter what they do. We need Miami to win this game. I mean, to lose this game. And then New England has to lose a game. And we have to win out, right? And New England has to lose a game. So if Miami loses this game and then beats New England next week, that's perfect. Because then we play Miami and the winner goes to the playoffs. So that's what we really want. Oh, no, fumble. He jumped on it. It was a bad handoff. By the way, there was a penalty that made it 1st and goal. That was great for us, but we almost blew it. We almost gave the ball away. So that's what we want, guys. That's the easy way to I need to Google Chulent. Okay. It's like what? Stew? Okay. Oh, is that like the sweet one with the chunks of sweet potato in there? I don't know. Anyway. If Miami loses today, we want them to beat New England next week very badly. Because if we beat Seattle, that means the last week of the season is a playoff game. The winner moves on. Nice pass by. They can't go anywhere. My God. What is wrong with Green Bay? Aaron Rodgers used to be money in the bank inside the 10-yard line. It's 3rd and 10. 3rd and 10, guys. We're at like the 10-yard line. So it's really like 3rd and goal, but at the 10. So it's 3rd down. We need a 10-yard pass into the end zone. Otherwise, they're going to have to kick a field goal. That would put them ahead by 3 points. But Miami is pumped up now. Tons of momentum. So we really could deflate them if we get a touchdown here. Aaron Rodgers in the pocket, stuck in the pocket. He steps out somehow, makes the pass. Oh, is there any flag? Incomplete. No flags. Gonna have to settle for a field goal. Shit. What is wrong with you, man? What happened to you, Aaron Rodgers? You're so pedestrian now. Jeez. It's like a stew. Okay. Let's just say we need Miami to lose and then win next week. And then everything else is just on us. Now, even if Miami wins next week, if they lose this week and win next week, I mean, then we need New England to lose to Buffalo in the last week of the season. So we'd still have a chance. There's lots of ways we can get in. But I don't want to be looking at the scoreboard if the last game of the season. My dream is that Miami loses today and beats New England next week. We beat Seattle. Then we get a whole week of a playoff game excitement. Then we get to talk about it. Wow, if we freaking beat Miami, we're going to the playoffs. How great would that be? The loser goes home, winner goes to the playoffs against Miami final week. All that has to happen is Green Bay has to hold this 3-point lead that they just took. If Green Bay wins this game, we just need Miami. Obviously, we got to win out. That's assumed, right? We got to beat Seattle, right? We just need Miami to lose today. Like if this game ends up them losing, we just need them to beat New England next week. And then we go into that final week. It's a playoff game. It's like the Buffalo game when we played Buffalo in that last week with Fitzpatrick. We don't have to look at the scoreboard. We know that if we win, we're in. That's what we're talking about. But it's even more exciting because Miami is in the same boats, winning in, or they go home too. So we're both in that. It'll be great. We're both going to be in that situation. So it's like a playoff game. How amazing would it be to get a win against the Miami Dolphins in a final game of the year where the winner goes to the playoffs? I know that it's going to be rough and it's not going to be easy, but man, it would be a great way to get some revenge on all the crap those fans have walked all over us forever. They've stomped us. I mean, we could just, no matter what happens in the playoffs, man, we could really just, if we want to, we could really rub it in their face. This game is designed to have us pull our hair out. Look, at least we're in the game, right? At least we're in it. Miami was dangerously close to like really blowing this game wide open. Aaron Rodgers, I believe, is 40. I think he's 40 or 41. Like people, we've quietly ignored that. Like Tom Brady being almost 45, Aaron Rodgers being 40, Matt Ryan, I think, being 38, 39. Like the age to which these players are playing is so insane. Because, I mean, remember when 35 was really old for a quarterback? It's really kind of crazy. They're playing into their 40s in the NFL. It's crazy. Crazy. At least the Miami game means something. Well, that's what we're hoping. We want it to mean something. Oh, he messed up on the return. He took a long time to pick it up, and he gets tackled inside the 20s at the 18-yard line. Nice. Mr. G, the Jets don't deserve to get into the playoffs. It's just not true. It's ridiculous to say something like that. If the Jets win the next two games, look, it's not. This is not brain science, Mr. G. Listen to what I'm saying. The top 7 teams in the AFC go to the playoffs. So deserve, it's such a, what do you mean deserve? The top 7 teams go to the playoffs. If Miami loses right now, and then we win the next 2 games, and we beat Miami to go to the playoffs, we're the number 7 seed team. The top 7 teams go. If we win the next 2 games, and New England and Miami both lose a game, why don't we deserve it? Like, I don't understand what the logic is. Like if we're the 7th seed, then we deserve it. I don't want to look at the scoreboard and get in because somebody else lost. Like, I agree that we should have just won and gotten there, but like deserve, the rules are that the top 7 teams go to the playoffs. You want to change it? You want to say no, thank you? We're the 7th seed. We don't want to go. It's 7 teams. 7 teams get to go to the playoffs in the AFC conference. If we're the 7th best team, and then we get to go. It's not about deserve. It's about earning. You don't think it's earning it if we beat Seattle and then beat Miami in Miami? That's earning it, in my opinion. Now, if you want to talk about the division on the NFC West, when an under 500 football team is going to win the division, you could talk about do they deserve? And maybe they should let another team in another division that doesn't get the wild card that's better go instead and just take the top 7 teams. But we're not talking about that. We're not talking about not truly being a top 7 team. If we're a wild card means you are a top 7 team. When you win a division and you're the 10th best team and you were just in a lousy division, then you could argue about deserve. Meanwhile, we haven't even come close to that yet. We still have to beat Seattle. Then we have to go into Miami and beat Miami, which right now we have no right thinking we'll do. And then we have to also hope some other things happen. So I just want a game. I mean, like Mr. D, come on. You don't want to have a game where we go into the last week of the season where if we win, we're in. Like, you don't want that to happen? You don't think that would be fun as fans to go all the way to the last game of the year and have a chance to get into the playoffs if we win? I mean, we don't deserve that after 7 years of misery, 7 years of non-competitive football. Come on. We deserve it. We deserve to at least have a competitive team. Tackle, 2nd and 7. That's going to make it 3rd and 5 or something. Miami, by the way, every drive Miami goes somewhere. Like, Green Bay never backs them up. It's always in other words, they started the ball at the 18-yard line. They're at the 40-yard line. Like, every drive they move the ball. They are not an easy team to stop. They have a very good offense now because their run game is off the charts. They got two former San Francisco 49er running backs that are crushing it for them. So they've got, they're tough. Miami is tough. Got a great offense. 3rd and 7. Here we go. This is a big play, guys. Big play. 3rd and 7 to his back. He throws for a first down to over the 50-yard line to the 46 of Green Bay. Just too much space, Green Bay. Too much space on defense. It's 1st and 10, 8 minutes to go in the game. It's a 3-point game. We need Green Bay's defense to do something here, man. It's like we got to hold them. Miami, look, Miami is certainly, yeah. I mean, Mr. D, I feel like I don't want to lose. Like, I hate when you're in a situation where your team loses in the last game of the year, but then 3 other games go their way and you back into the playoffs. Like, I get it. So it's 2 different things. I understand that it doesn't feel the same. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you lose and you still get in, or you get in with a crappy record, it doesn't feel the same. So I just don't use the word deserve because, the rule is the top 7 teams go. So if you're a top 7 team, you get to go. Does it feel the same? No, it doesn't feel the same. You're right. We were 7 and 4. Like, anything under 10 wins is completely unacceptable. Like, in us feeling good. At least I don't feel good. But if we win the last 2 games of the year and we get into the playoffs, I'm going to feel like we earned it. Like, we went onto the road to Seattle and then we go on the road to Miami. If we were to do that and win both those games, I feel like we deserve it. Meanwhile, Miami, it's not going to happen maybe because Miami just completed a giant pass to Tyreek Hill. And now Miami has the ball at the 30-yard line for first down. So right now we have to we're not even there. Like, you know what I mean? We're not even there yet anyway. So we might not even have the opportunity to go to the playoffs even with 2 wins. I just want I'm just hoping the opportunity is there. But this game is really the big game. It changes the percentages of us getting in by a lot. It's going to be really hard to get in if Miami wins. And now Miami is Green Bay's defense is taking a vacation for the moment. Running play Miami, no gain, just maybe 1.5, 2 yards, 2nd down. We need to hold them to a field goal at least. If we hold them to a field goal, then it'll be a tie game. And if you ask me before the game, 7 minutes to go in the game, 6 minutes to go in the game, Green Bay ball, tie game. Let's say if Miami gets stopped and kicks a field goal, and you told me Green Bay ball, 6 minutes to go in the game and a tie game. Do you take that scenario? Of course I do. Of course I do. This is a game I expected Miami to win by 2 touchdowns. Remember, we beat Green Bay 27-10 or something. And we're, and that was in Green Bay. So this is surprising. I know Miami has to play New England, but we need New England to lose a game. So you see the problem? And now Miami's going to score a touchdown. No, out of bounds at the 10-yard line. So Miami's just walking through them. There's a flag. See who the flag's against. Look, we could still make the playoffs if Miami wins. I get it. But like, it's not easy. It's like much easier. It is against Miami. Good. Against Miami. It was this, whatever this means. Maybe motion. Okay. Look, I mean, all I'm saying is percentage-wise, if Miami loses this game, our chances of going to the playoffs are so much greater than if they win. If they win this game, things have to go our way. And my head will explode because I don't want to follow it all. Miami losing would be so great because it's so easy to follow. We just need Miami to win next week, and we have to win. Interception! Interception! Bring it back! No, he gets tackled. That's okay. 37-yard line, Green Bay ball. Interception by Campbell. Yes! Tua! Keep throwing those picks, Tua! Keep throwing those picks. Yes! We'll take it, baby. Big interception for Green Bay. Now they have 6 minutes to go in the game and the lead, 23-20. So we want, I guess you kind of hoping right now the perfect scenario would be a 5-yard drive, a 5-minute drive touchdown. That ends the game. Pretty much. Even a 4-minute drive. Like you get up by 10, right? Don't leave that much, even if it's down, as long as we take off a couple of minutes, 3 minutes left in the game, we're in great shape. So, all right, we need a score here. A field goal. If they do a field goal, we want to take at least 4.5 minutes off. Only leave Miami with less to go. They need a touchdown. A lot of scenarios here. That interception was tremendous. Tremendous interception right there for Green Bay. Puts them in a really good position to win this game. And look, at the end of the day, we still have to go and beat Seattle, the Jets. We can't forget that. And Seattle has not been good. They're not a hot team. They started the season hot. They're not a hot team. But the Jets are not a hot team. We have to hope that it's a quarterback thing. We have to hope Mike White gets healthy and he changes the feeling of the team, that he rallies the team. If Mike White can start that game in Seattle and lead us to victory and have a good game, maybe we get all of our confidence back, and then we go into Miami feeling really confident. And Miami, for whatever reason, if they lose this game, losing to Green Bay at home, right? I mean, not a good thing for them. I just hope they can we have to root for them to beat New England. I mean, technically we can get it. I mean, it doesn't have to happen because New England could lose to Buffalo the last week of the season. I just don't want to have to look at the scoreboard the last week of the season. I would rather have New England just lose next week. But the reality is this is the game. Miami loses this week, then we only need Green Bay to lose one game the rest of the way out of the two games. We just need New England. We just need New England to lose a game. I just rather have it be next week. But if Miami loses this game, we're back in the hunt because we're back. We could take it away from them by beating them the last week. So I think we all understand this already. So our line sucks, but they're healthy. That's the thing. It doesn't make sense. So we know they're capable. We know Tomlinson knows how to play at an NFL level. He was all-pro level for San Francisco. Herbig has had good games. He's capable. So it doesn't make sense. They're capable. We just need them to get someone needs to light a firecracker up their ass, So here's Green Bay, pitches the ball to Dillon. He barely gets a half a yard. Miami's run defense is very good. So, and Dallas, Green Bay, man, they're really not giving up on trying to get it going. It's just not happening. It's just not there. I don't know, but you need to wind the clock down. I get it. You need to run the ball. I don't know if there's something else they could try. But a 1, 2, 3 and out here and punting the ball right back to Miami would absolutely suck. Come on, Rodgers. Come on, Green Bay. What's their chance? Go, Pack, go. Fake the handoff in the pocket, lots of time, lofts it up. Nice catch, 87 for a first down and like a 20-yard play. I think that's Dobbs. Huge play, baby. Huge play. I can't believe how into this I'm getting. I guess I really haven't given up. I really want to go to the playoffs. I don't know if it's the playoffs or making that Miami game meaningful. I just don't want our year to be over. It feels like if Miami loses this game, our year is not over. It feels like it makes the Seattle game a big game we could be excited about. That's what I want. All right, here we go. We're at their 41-yard line. That was such a big play. Such a big play. Okay, here we go. Handoff again. No, he faked the handoff, and he's running and runs for a yard and a half. Not the Aaron Rodgers you used to be, eh, buddy? Van Ginkel all over him. 4:30 left in the game. Clock ticking. Van Ginkel makes the tackle. I could say his name 1,000 times and never get tired of saying it. Van Ginkel with the tackle. Van Ginkel was not fooled. Van Ginkel was able to stop and change his direction and stop Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers, yeah, you want Rodgers in these situations. That's true, but he hasn't been doing it this year. Here we go. Aaron drops back in the pocket. Good protection. Nice, beautiful pass to the tight end for a first down. That was a beautiful pass. That's the Aaron Rodgers I know and never loved. All right. Good job. Takes his helmet off, wipes his hair. He's such a different kind of dude. Okay. All right. 85, the tight ends. Great pass by Aaron Rodgers. I mean, perfect. It was a dime right in the chest. It was Tanyan. Tanyan had no opportunity to drop the ball because Aaron Rodgers stuck it in his chest. Even a field goal here forces Miami to get 7. Yes, but to me, that's okay, Billy. But the clock has to come down for that to mean something. I don't want Miami to have all day. Their offense has been very effective, so I don't, we saw what happened with the Jets with Detroit. If it's going to be a field goal, I hope they can get the clock under 2 minutes because I like our chances of Tua screwing up when it's under 2 minutes, when Tua's in a rush. Although he had that one game in the beginning of the year where they came back from a ton of points against Baltimore. But look, a field goal will be great. It's the clock more than anything. It's a clock in any kind of score, right? I mean, the first thing is the clock. Cannot give them the ball back with any amount of time with a 3-point lead. So they absolutely have to get a field goal at a minimum. Now, if they get the field goal, I understand. It puts Miami in that position where they need a touchdown. But you can't give them time. We don't want to give them a lot of time for that. So if we're going to settle for a field goal, I'm fine with that. But we got to bring the clock down. And we got to force them to take timeouts. The only way we're going to do that is to get at least another 1 or 2 first downs. Green Bay gets another 1 or 2 first downs. Then if it's field goal, it's field goal. But that will force a lot of timeouts and a lot of time. And that will put Miami in a very bad position. Be very difficult to score a touchdown in that situation. And Green Bay's defense has gotten stronger when they get tested, when they get pushed. They haven't been breaking. They've actually had a good second half, if you think about it. Now, we don't need the Chargers to lose, but if the Chargers did lose, it would help us because it would give us another path. We don't need them to lose, though. I'm trying to ignore the Chargers, but you're right. If the Chargers lose, I'm not going to complain. Is that game going on? Is that why people are talking about it? Let me see what's going on. Sports. I'm not even knowing what's going on in the world. Let's say just scores. Chargers play the Colts. Oh, guys, come on. They play the Colts. Jeff Saturday. The team that's tanking practically. They purposely put a coach in there that can't coach. They won the first game against the Raiders. They've lost 4 in a row. But you know what? I could see the Colts winning that game because they're at home and they're trying a new quarterback. I could see, it could happen. It could happen. We'll root for it, obviously. Tomorrow. Okay, they play tomorrow, not tonight. Okay. I don't know what's going on the rest of the day because I was so involved with this game. I'm not paying attention to anything, but I think there's another game, right? Later. There's more games. Rodgers, 1st and 10, 29-yard line. Dillon in the backfield with him. He's in the pocket. He runs out of the pocket. He escapes. He's taking off. He breaks a tackle, slides like he's going into second base for an 8-yard gain. And there's a flag. Shit. Holding. Offense. What a killer penalty. What a killer penalty. Who did that? 71? Who did that? What's his name? You piece of shit. Myers? Are you kidding me, man? That could cost your team the game. A stupid penalty. Holding on a quarterback scramble. Come on, man. God, that hurts. That was so, my God, LaFleur's pissed. Man, these referees just love to insert themselves into games. They don't call pass interference, though. Good run here. Good run. Almost a first down for Jones. Aaron Jones with an 18-yard scamper. Are you kidding me? Around the edge, they did not seal the edge. Miami was not able to seal the edge. Huge mistake by them. That was way too easy, but we'll take it. Xavier Howard well blocked. I like it when he stinks because it just shows more that Sauce Gardner and Reed are better than Howard. Xavier Howard getting into the Pro Bowl over DJ Reed is a joke and a disgrace, and is why the Pro Bowl is meaningless in the NFL. It's a popularity contest. But it's always been a popularity contest. That's why none of that's ever mattered to me. Yeah, that's why they're playing so hard, right? Because they have a chance. That's why they're playing so hard. Aaron Rodgers said, I will not sit, and we will continue to play as hard as we can until we are mathematically eliminated. The Pats can definitely throw a monkey wrench if the Pats win both games. That's why we need Miami to just beat the Pats. Buffalo could end up beating them, but I don't want to wait for Buffalo. I'd rather have Miami beat them next week. Than if we beat Seattle. All we want to do is make that Miami game a win and you're in. That's all we care about. That's our goal now. We make that Miami game a win and we're in. And if this game goes the way it's going, that's going to be very close to happening. Win and we're in. Seattle is a very winnable game as long as Zach Wilson's not our starting quarterback. If Zach Wilson's our starting quarterback, I'm sorry. For anybody who still loves Zach Wilson, I'm sorry. And I'm not trying to offend you or upset you. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend. If Zach Wilson's our quarterback, we're done. And I own 2 of his jerseys. I celebrated when we drafted Zach Wilson. I take no pleasure in saying that. I just can't lie. My eyes can't lie to me anymore, guys. He's not an NFL quarterback. And if he ever develops into one, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen by Sunday. You know what I mean? He's not going to turn into a quarterback in 1 week. That's the thing. Maybe in 3 years from now, Zach will be a stud. It may be. I'm not going to say what he could be in 3 years from now. I'm not going to say what he could be in 2 years from now. Next year, maybe he's a lot more functional, and then he ends up being much better the year after that. I don't know. But he's not going to be a good quarterback in a week. It's just not going to happen. I don't believe what Salah's saying. I disagree. Hey, he'll have one good pass and another and gain confidence, and then all of a sudden be okay. I don't think so. Because guess what? He had some great moments against Detroit where it could have given him confidence, and it didn't happen. Because then he'd mess up again, then he'd do something good, and then he'd mess up again. No. We're much further away from a couple of good plays turning around Zach's confidence. That's dead. So let's hope that Mike White is healthy. Offsides Miami, hopefully. It looks like they jumped. It's 2nd and 2, by the way, after that 1st and 20, 18-yard scamper. by Aaron Jones. The referees, this cocky-looking guy, he does the thing with the hips, which means encroachment, which means that'll be a first down for Green Bay because it was 2nd and 2. So we got a first down. We got how much on the clock? 3 minutes on the clock. Remember, if we settle for a field goal, I wanted it to be under 2. So we still got to get rid of a minute of time. Miami only has 2 timeouts. I think they used one before. So that's a good thing because even though Aaron Rodgers was pissed at the time, I guarantee you Miami wishes they had that timeout back. Here we go. Aaron Rodgers pitches the ball. Nothing doing. He's running into walls everywhere. You can't go back to that well, guys. You're not going to run around their edge a second time. You don't think they're going to contain the edge the next time? Come on. Good job, Chubb. Chubb said nothing doing. Didn't let it happen. So now it's going to be 2nd and 13. That was stupid. Miami has to call the second timeout, though. So that's good. So they're already using their timeouts. So at the very least, it might not be the under 2 minutes that I wanted, but they are not going to have any timeouts when they get the ball. Hopefully, if we do have to settle for a field goal, hopefully Green Bay executes and gets the field goal. Such a big difference there, right? We want to force Miami to need a touchdown. Remember that Miami could score on any play. They got 2 of the best, most explosive wide receivers in the NFL. Definitely the best in Hill. There's no player I'd rather have on my team if I'm down in the final couple of minutes and I need an explosive touchdown. Tyreek Hill is the best in the NFL at that, in my opinion. And then Waddle is not far behind. Green Bay, good running play up the middle for about 5. Oh, too bad he tripped. Like 6 or 7 yards, 3rd down, though. But now it's a manageable 3rd down, guys. 3rd and 5. If he doesn't trip, he's in the end zone. Oh, one guy got his ankle, or he's like fighting to get into the end zone. It would have been one safety in him. Wow. Darn it. Could have clinched the game right there. LaFleur doing LaFleur things. I see that. Trevor's better than Zach. Definitely Mike comes back and we have hope for a win. Yeah, we need Mike White. And that's the funny thing is that we're talking about Mike White. He's not a good quarterback. He's this quarterback. Somebody's saying he's not the answer. But he's the best we have now. Right now, it's like Mike White is our savior right now. Like we need Mike White to be healthy. Like otherwise, none of this really matters that much because it's just us getting our hopes up and then a shit show against Seattle. Seattle plays tough and plays hard for Pete Carroll, man. We can't go in with anyone other than Mike White. Aaron Rodgers in shotgun, 3rd and 6 from the 10-yard line. Aaron Rodgers hands it off. They play it safe. Gave themselves no chance for a first down. They basically said, we'll take the field goal. Not even calling a play that gives them hope. They didn't even call a play that gave them hope for a first down. That bugs the shit out of me. 4th and 3, Aaron Rodgers is staying on the field. They're going to try to draw them off sides. If they snap the ball, that means that this game is fixed and the head coach lost the game on purpose. There's no way you don't take the field goal here. It's 4th and 3. They're trying to draw. They're trying to draw them off sides. They're trying. He's kicking hard. The center's moving his boogieing. I think the receiver purposely moved to try to get the defender off sides, but I don't think the refs are going to fall for it. I guess they probably planned that. They said the field goal kicker doesn't care about 5 yards, so they probably told him go, make false start on purpose. Maybe the ref doesn't see. But there's no penalty. It's still 4th and 3. 2:06 left. 2-minute warning is still there for Miami, unfortunately. And it looks like we're going to kick the field goal because Green Bay has a timeout left. I guess they can come out again and try to draw them off sides one more time. Well, I don't think you're going to see that. You need the timeout if it's a bad snap. Oh, it's 4th down. So, nope, you don't need the timeout. Here we go. It's Crosby. He's set. He kicks it in. Okay, 6-point lead. 6-point lead, 2:02 left. Miami has no timeouts, but they'll get the 2-minute warning. So, yeah, they're going to need a very big drive. Look, we would have taken this every time, guys. We would have taken this there's no question about it that we would have taken this scenario. Green Bay, 2-minute warning with the 6-point lead. Miami with 2 minutes and no timeouts, except the 2-minute warning. We would have taken the scenario. So we can't complain or argue against anything. The only thing I'm unhappy with is I think that was a little bit of a hack job, just like running the ball into the line like that. I think that they could have done so. You have Aaron Rodgers. Like that's not who Green Bay was back in the day. And I'll tell you, in Rodgers' heyday, there was no Green Bay coach that would have been that conservative. The thing that made Green Bay winners year after year, which made them 13, 14 win teams, where they put games away. And in that situation, 3rd down and 5 right near the end zone, play action, baby. He throws it in the end zone, and he ends the game. He doesn't just run the ball into the line for a conservative field goal. Miami's bringing it back. Tackled by the 27-yard line. Mostert. They use Mostert as a kickoff returner as well. It's interesting. So look, Tua has thrown 2 picks this half, I think. And here he is, needing to be the hero. There's plenty of time, guys. I don't want to, rock your bubble. I'm trying to think, oh, no timeouts. There's a lot of time. Because it only takes a couple of plays. And then boom, they're in, and then they're at the 50, and then they make a great pass to the 20-yard line, and then and then they do a sneak running play and rush and get to the 10, and now how these games go. How these games go. Tua's been bad, but he also hasn't been bad. He was bad this half, but he's also played well during this game. Let's look at his exact numbers. He's been bad this half. There's no argument there. He's been horrible this half. They've been shut out this half. So, no argument there. Let's look at Tua. 15 for 23. He has over 300 yards passing. He has a touchdown pass. He was good in the first half. 2 interceptions. An 86 quarterback rating. Still better than any New York Jets. That's like Mike White. It's about an 86 passer rating. But certainly not Zach. So he definitely has had a bad second half, but he is averaging 13 yards per passing attempt. They're averaging 13 yards. He has a 65% completion rate. The only thing working against Tua is his interceptions. If you took away just one of those interceptions, he's over 100 quarterback rating. So, yeah, I mean, the extra pick hurts your numbers, and it's bad to throw the extra interception, but it's not like he's a guy that's falling apart. You know what I mean? Like some NFL quarterbacks sometimes throw a couple of interceptions, but he's not like in Zach's state of mind where he can't play football. He's still Tua. He's thrown for over 300 yards, and he's done this for Miami a lot. They have a very smart coach. This is not a give me. We have got to be very careful. Green Bay's got to be very careful here. If they do a prevent defense, we're screwed. Because then Miami will walk down the field. The only thing a prevent defense prevents is victory. Because a prevent defense would basically allow them back into this game. They would allow them to walk down to the 10-yard line and then score the winning touchdown. So no prevent defense is right. We need the Green Bay better just play. They got a very slim shot at the playoffs. They may as well just have fun. Blitz the guy. Take the game. Win the game. It was stupid that they didn't take a shot with Aaron Rodgers to score a touchdown. I think, in my opinion. But I like those coaches, championship teams who play to win games. Pass from Tua. Keep him in bounds. Yes, he kept him in bounds. Good tackle. It's like a 7-yard gain. I don't know if you like that play if you're a Miami fan because you lose the time. I guess they don't get the 2-minute warning. I guess that got on special teams because they're still rushing. There's no clock stoppage. Tua drops back. He throws it. Interception! Interception! Yes! 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 Go Green Bay! Yes! Interception. Tua throws a wild turkey. He throws a wild turkey. 3 interceptions for Tua. Thank you so much. Yes, we're alive, everybody. We're alive. Please let us have Mike White back for this. Please. No timeouts. Victory formation. Victory formation. There's no timeouts. Knobcraft, I know what you're doing, and I appreciate it. Thanks for being a member. Next week, Seattle. Won't even know what happens to them. Jets up for life. Look, we just need Mike White to play quarterback for us. Terrible pass by Tua, by the way. Terrible pass. God, I hope we put him in I hope we play Miami and we get into the lead and put Tua in a situation where he has to pass into our secondary. Please bring it, baby. I'd love to see Sauce Gardner. Victory formation. A little bit of pushing and shoving. Head coach looks pissed off about it. Not going to work. Aaron Rodgers is not going to screw this one up. Come on, man. This guy's been doing it for 20 years. You're not going to get anything out of it. Don't be poor sports. Just let them snap the ball and, no cheap pushing or anything like that. Well, if he's trash, what's Zach Wilson, though? But we can make an argument. Maybe Mike White's better than Tua. Maybe. I don't know. So I'm going to go downstairs. I'm hungry. I'm going to make myself a Tua fish sandwich. Look, so what's interesting about this is that Miami's got to be questioning themselves. They've got to be the confidence has got to be really low. Their fans are so arrogant. Not all of them. I have friends here that are Miami Dolphin fans that are not, and I don't mean any offense to them, but there's a lot of the Miami fan base that's just atrocious on Twitter. They're so obnoxious. They're brutal, man. They just are so disrespectful to us. And man, I can only imagine what they're going through right now, like what they're thinking. Because I can't imagine because we're going through it. We went through it the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. But at least with us, it wasn't with our starting quarterback. This is happening to them with their starting quarterback. They're losing with their starting quarterback. So at home against Green Bay, at home, you got to be super upset if you're them. You got to be so upset if you're Miami. They're probably screaming and cursing and throwing things at the TV right now. So here we are. This is our situation. It's official. This is the situation. There's more than one scenario, but this is the cleanest scenario for us. The cleanest scenario. Obviously, we know that we have to win, right? So we have to beat Seattle. Forget about the last game of the season. Next week, we have to beat Seattle. If we beat Seattle, the cleanest way for us to have control of our own destiny is for Miami to beat New England. Now, Miami played well enough to win tonight. It's not like they played like the Jets played against Jacksonville. They're pissed. They're mad. They're angry. But Miami still had chances to win this game. I don't know what happened to them. They kind of like Tua happened to them. So I don't feel this game means Miami can't beat New England. Now, our backup plan, if Miami goes in and doesn't beat New England, it doesn't help us with Miami, really, because we still have to play them, right? And it's the same thing on the line. What we'll need New England to lose to Buffalo in the last week. The problem is, will there still be any reason for Buffalo to be playing hard? I don't know. It seems that there would. I got to look at it again. But then we have to look over our shoulder. Then during the Jet-Miami game, not only do we have to beat Miami, but we're going to be looking at that Buffalo-New England scoreboard like, what's going on? What's going on? Now, it'd be great if the Chargers lose. There's an extra. It's not likely they have an easy schedule, but there's a chance that the Chargers are going to shit the bed. But our cleanest way, the cleanest thing that can happen for us is take care of business against Seattle. and Miami beats New England next week. Two things. What that does for us is we regain control of our own destiny. That's the key. That's what we want. Because then if we go in and lose to Miami, that's on us. We're not looking at a scoreboard. We're not winning the game, but still not going to the playoffs. That's the worst feeling. We get to just go into that game and pretend it's a playoff game, because it is. If Miami beats New England next week and we beat Seattle, that game against Miami is a playoff game in every sense of the word of what playoff means. Loser goes home, winner moves on. Look, I want to win that game if we play that Miami game to be in the playoffs really badly. We all want to win that game really badly. But even the week leading up to that game will be so much better for us. When have we had that? We're literally going into the next year. We're at the end of December, and we're in the playoff hunt. I know that we were 7-4. I know that we've had a horrible collapse. But if we would have went to the beginning of the year and said, at the end of the year, the Jets will have an opportunity that if they win the last 2 games of the year, or lose or win, like if in the beginning of the year, if I told you if the Jets beat Seattle in Game 16, the final game against Miami will be for winner goes to the playoffs. It's very few Jet fans who would have turned that down. Our expectations changed during the year. No doubt. The expectations changed because we were 7-4. But it happened. We collapsed. Our starting quarterback got hurt. We got to a point where we had to use Strevler. I don't know Mike White's condition. It's very hard to believe that he could be out more. I feel like players have broken ribs and coming back sooner. So are bruised ribs worse than broken ribs? Maybe we should have broken them after the game. Maybe we should have said, come here. We got to break your ribs because bruised ribs are worse. I don't know. But we got to get this kid back on the field because we have a chance right now. Not only that, it's more than just making the playoffs. If Mike White was to come back and we were to make the playoffs, if we were to win the next 2 games with Mike White, not only does we make the playoffs, but what does it mean for Mike White and what could have been? It means we could have won other games. It means we could legitimately say we could have been a 11 win team. So dare to dream. Once you get to the playoffs, anything can happen. Most of the Jets fan base lives in New Jersey, New York. You saw what the Giants did and how many times they've done that. How many times have you seen the Giants as a wild card team go all the way? Everybody watched Cincinnati go all the way to the Super Bowl. Just get to the playoffs and then worry about it. We get to the playoffs. We regroup. That's what we got to do. Regroup. We're in the right? Get to the playoffs and regroup. So odds to get Action Jackson. So here's the thing. I'll be very clear about this. Anybody with a brain would want Lamar Jackson on our team as quarterback if it was possible financially without losing the whole team. Like we can't break up the team over it, right? And give away, like we need the core to stay. Here's the problem though. It's hard to talk about things that we can't control. And we can't control Lamar Jackson because Baltimore owns him for 2 more years because of the franchise tag. Baltimore has every ability to franchise him. So it's not like he's an unrestricted free agent. So not only would you have to pay Action Jackson $50 million a year to play for us, and really, I don't know how we work the cap or what that would mean, but it would be painful. It'd be hard to extend Q Williams. It would be hard to do a lot. So it put us in a really tough situation. But the real thing is that we don't even have that ability because Baltimore owns the rights to Lamar Jackson for 2 more years with the franchise tag, right? So we would have to trade for him. We'd have to trade to take over that franchise, that tag rights for him at the very least. But, that's not how it would work. We'd have to trade for him, and we'd have to do a sign-and trade where we sign him to his big lucrative deal. So you're talking about like a Denver Russell Wilson kind of thing. We saw how that worked out. You're talking about that kind of thing. The Deshaun Watson thing is not looking good right now. I'm not saying he's not going to come back next year and have fun, have an entire offseason to get back in football shape. But right now it's a little scary for Cleveland because he's not looking very good. He's not looking very good. If they were in the playoff hunt, they might want to go back to Jacoby Brissett, if they were still in the playoff hunt. So we need to more than win out. We need to do more than win out. We need help. We need New England to lose a game. I think it's just New England losing a game. I would rather have that happen with Miami. Miami, get us to do that favor for us. Beat New England and then come play us, or we come into your house to play you for the playoffs. And that's it. Hey, Lee, you want to come in? You want to come in? You want to come? You want to come? You want to come in? You want to come in? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know how? One second, everybody. Let me see if he wants to. Or do you have your family? My family's here. I can't. My family can't do without me for 20 minutes. I have to sit around the house with them, with my family. Okay. I'm so bad. It's my family too, what I'm saying. What's up, Snowball? Let me say hello to some people. Anarchy, what's going on, buddy? JC, what's going on? And say hello. Ron P, what's going on? Rendilla, what's going on? Billy SBC, Eric Craig in the house. You've been in and out. Thank you for coming around. So here we are. We are back in the game. We have life. The New York Jets have life, people. We have almost control of our own destiny. We don't have complete control of our own destiny. But we all know that it's very unlikely that New England is going to beat Miami and Buffalo. Very unlikely. If it happens, hey, we can't complain. We did it to ourselves, right? But the reality is it's probably not going to happen. The reality is that we're not going to have any excuse now as far as like right now. Like we almost have control of our own destiny. We're in a really good position. All we have to do is beat Seattle. Miami will play New England, then Buffalo will play New England. One of those teams will beat New England. Pretty sure of it. And really, it's going to come down to that Miami game, which is what we all wanted. For the last few weeks, we've been saying, well, just let it come down to that Miami game. Santa got my letter. Yeah, man. It's good stuff. So we're like in this game. Anyway, let me bring in Double Chaos. There he is. How are you feeling right now? What do you think about this game? How significant was this game?
I got to shut you down. Well, it's weird to say a game is significant that we didn't play in. But I was keeping my eyes on the New England game and this Packers-Miami game both days, because even though part of me doesn't want to back in or be a scoreboard watcher, that's not the kind of team I want to have. That's not how we want to make the playoffs. Yeah. It's the only way we can make the playoffs right now. So it's the way we're going. That's it. We're doing that. And again, it's kind of funky, but I'll take it, we just have to get in.
But wouldn't it be such a big deal? Like, I don't know how much it means to you, but wouldn't it be a bigger deal if we could secure control of our own destiny next week?
Okay, going with the idea that I don't want to watch the scoreboard, I think we just need to take care of business. If we take care of business, the odds are so good that we're going to make the playoffs, because Miami is going into Buffalo for that final game. New England's going into Buffalo. Buffalo is still playing for, what position, right? Would they get a bye or not? Would they get home field advantage in the second game they play if they don't get the bye? So Buffalo's playing with everything they have. It's going to be in Buffalo. It's going to be cold, and it's just hard to imagine New England winning that game. And it's the same time as the Jet game, at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. So to me, that final game, no matter what New England does next week, is going to be insane, because, even though we'll still need help if New England doesn't lose next week, it's just going to be so exciting. Those 3 hours, 15 minutes, and the whole week leading up to it is going to be so exciting. So it's all about beating Seattle. That's it, baby. Beat Seattle.
But in that itself, that means that we have an exciting week ahead of us, because we have a full week to be excited about the upcoming Seattle game. because it's
Yeah.
a big game because of what it does for us. So it's not like we have to wait for the Miami game. We have excitement coming up this week. This whole week's going to be exciting. I think the biggest news to me, the most important piece of the whole thing, it all centers around Mike White. I mean, as much as people want to say and downplay Mike White, and they don't think he's the guy, they don't think he's good, we need a quarterback. The reality is right now, Mike White is the only hope we have, don't you think?
Well, first of all, I really like Mike White. I did a 20 rhyme poem, an ode to Mike White, because I really like him. I understand he doesn't have the mobility, the arm strength of Zach. I get that. But he's super fast in decision making. He's super fast in getting rid of the ball. When you have no offensive line, which we have no offensive line. You can say they're hurt, whatever your reason. You need a quarterback that is super quick getting rid of the ball, making a decision, getting rid of the ball. He does that. So I think he's the exact kind of quarterback that you want to have right now, that the Jets need right now, given the way our OL is. And I tell you, I don't know if we can win with Streveler. I know this is crazy, but I would rather have Streveler than Zach in the game if we can't have Mike White, because he just looks so without confidence. I just can't imagine putting him out there when we can make the playoffs if we win. Come on.
Yeah, I can't imagine Zach out there in any situation. I think I'd rather have the statue Joe Flacco, if not Streveler. I can't imagine going with Zach Wilson only because he just doesn't have any confidence right now.
Yeah, and I can't imagine going with Joe because when he went in for Mike,
it was so bad.
There's no offensive line for him. I'm not saying he's not a guy that knows what he's doing, but how do you do it when you have no time? His whole game is predicated on time. And that's why I say Mike White without a doubt. But other than that, I'm a crazy person saying Streveler. I know that. But I still think he might be our best bet if we don't have Mike White. But the difference, Jeremy, the difference between this week and next week, if we beat Seattle, is this week we're coming off, I don't know, 3-4 losses. You tell me. I can't remember. It's been so long since we won.
4.
Yeah. And so I'm kind of have this not dread. I mean, I'm excited, but I'm also like, what can we possibly win? I mean, is it even possible? But if we beat Seattle, whether it's Mike White or Streveler or even Zach or Joe Flacco, because all 4 might be available to us. Who knows? If we win, then whoever won for us, I'll have the feeling, oh my God, we could really do it. We could really beat Miami, based on the Seattle game, because we'll get that winning streak going. Right now, we got 4 losses. At least right now, yes, I want to win, but I don't have that confidence. I don't have the confidence that we can win.
We need a win, and the team needs a win to get their confidence back for any of this to be real. Seattle offers that opportunity for sure. Now, look, the offensive line is not playing horribly because of injuries anymore. Like this same group of players have played well. They're back. I mean, like Fanta's back. He's there. Tomlinson is there. McGovern is there. He's done it before. Like there are guys there that are capable of doing this.
Yeah.
Now the question is, are they capable of turning it around? Like what is the coaching staff got to do? What has to happen in that room? Because these guys have not been playing motivated, inspired football. They're not. They look lazy, lackadaisical. They don't look like they're fighting. What do you do to get these guys to fight? Because it's not about injury anymore. These are not about shelf guys. Laken Tomlinson has played Pro Bowl ball in his career. We're paying him a ton of money for that. McGovern is a better than average center in the NFL. Herbig, when he first came in, was playing very well for us. He's capable of playing well. We know George Fant is capable of playing well.
So maybe
we have guys who are capable of playing well.
Maybe what it is, Jeremy, first of all, I don't know, because they haven't played well the entire time. I was going to say, and now I'm doubting myself, is that they have to believe we can win. But I think they believed we could win when we had Mike White in there.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He definitely got people excited. He was strong in the huddle. They loved him in the huddle. Certainly the big play positions, they were super psyched about Mike White. They played their hearts out for him. So I don't know what's going on with the OL. I don't know, Jeremy, because there's no way Mike White's not the kind of guy that excites them. He excites the whole team.
Well, the OL played a little better for that one drive with Streveler in, didn't they?
Well, that's one thought I have, is that he's kind of a beastie guy. He's a give me the ball, let me run kind of guy. He'll pass it, but he prefers to run. And I think that whole I hate playing offenses that have a quarterback that likes to run because it's so hard. You have to cover people. You have to worry about the running backs. You have to worry about the quarterback running. And I think they have a lot of design plays for him. And they know right now how Mike White's ribs are doing. They know. And if I were them, I'd be running Strevler right now, like tons of plays where he has the option to run or pass, little trick things where the tight end skirts out, after a block. The running back skirts out after. Just things that give Strevler the opportunity to roll, run, planned run. I think that can make something happen.
Yeah. And Craig Rosenberg says it. He says, for sure, Strevler over Zach. No question. Look, the team plays better with any quarterback other than Zach for whatever reason. Part of it is, look, we were watching that Jacksonville game. As bad as the old L did against the run, which they did, there's a reason why they did poorly against the run. Every team is basically playing us with one approach in mind defensively. Stack the box, 8 players, right? 8 in the box, because they're saying we don't believe your quarterback can beat us. And Zach Wilson delivered by not beating them. So the question becomes, we were looking in the pocket on those plays. There were plenty of plays where the offensive line gave not great protection, but enough protection. And like you said, and the reason why you love Mike White or really like or appreciate his play is that he's very decisive and he's very quick getting rid of the ball.
Super quick.
So if Mike White is able to do what he's been doing for us and get rid of the ball quickly, and the offensive line gives them enough time to at least do that, which they were doing, if they do that, what happens is if we're successful and Mike White is throwing the ball and passing successfully and Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore come back to life because of that, it forces the defense to move out of the box. And once you move out of the box, it opens up the running game. Just as much as a running game could set up a passing game could set up a running game. So is it possible that that we get enough time, that Mike White comes back, he's able to make those quick decisions, get the ball out to Garrett Wilson, get the ball out to Elijah Moore, start using our weapons again, forces the defense to not stack the box. Now we start bringing Bam Knight back into the game, Michael Carter back into the game.
It's more than possible. It's likely. I would, if Mike White's playing in my betting world where I'm going to bet, the Jets should be favorite because they're going to go in. Oh my God, are they going to be pumped, baby? If Mike White is in there, hey, I got to go, Jeremy. It's Christmas, man. We're making turkey and all that kind of good stuff that goes with it.
Oh, you're not getting Chinese food?
No, but here is we got Chinese food 2 days ago for Cancermas. I'll tell you about that later. To celebrate getting over cancer with the surgery.
Okay, cool.
All right, yeah. So that was a year ago, the 22nd. So we did Chinese food. Here's the last thing I want to say, and then I gotta go because she's saying, why'd I marry this guy? I told him no sports. But I made her memorize all the Mets. Okay, so she knows who she married. But that was pre-YouTube. So here's the deal. If I were the coach, if I were Saleh, mum's the word on make it completely unclear who is starting. Because the way I see it, Stevler and Mike White are almost opposites. One is basically a pass, or give the ball to a running back kind of guy. And the other is I'm going to run. I'm going to keep you thinking I'm going to run. One, you have to put everybody in the box, Strebler, right, to stop him. With Mike White, if you do that, he's going to beat you on the pass, right? He's going to recognize the blitz. He's going to hit the open guy. So you can't do it with White. So they have to do two completely different defenses as long as you leave it ambiguous who's playing. I would go as long as I could.
I love that. And I do think that if Mike White plays, they should still use Strebler in packages.
Oh, yeah.
I think
screw around with him,
Great wild cat.
So that's another option is to say Mike White, and then put, and then use Strebler for plays, right? Yeah. For plays a lot in the game to protect Mike White a little bit because they won't have practice for that, or say Strevler, and then put a lot of Mike White. I got to go. I'm in trouble.
Okay.
I'm getting called by my own wife in my own house.
So,
I
so
gotta
John,
go.
take care, brother. Thanks for coming in.
Bye.
Bye. So John comes in, and John, your timing is perfect. That's what we're talking about. If Mike White is healthy enough to play, activate Strevler. Let him be active. Let's get Strevler in there. Let's do wildcat packages. Let's kind of like soften their defense up, confuse them, throw different things at them. Why not? Strevler was very effective when he came in. Very hard for a defense to adjust to that when your personnel is set up for a guy like Mike White, and then all of a sudden we run Strevler into the game. I mean, they're either going to have to call a timeout. If they don't have time to get the right subs in, he can cause some problems. And as soon as they start adjusting to him, you bring Mike White back in and go right back to you. Hey, Garrett Wilson. Hey, Elijah Moore. Hey, Berrios. Hey, hey, Corey Davis. If he can learn how to hold on to the ball, and suddenly we're a dangerous team again. It doesn't take a lot to inject confidence and to churn momentum in a team. Getting Mike White back, if he comes back, could be the answer to that. Just giving them the confidence and getting something going like that could be exactly what we need. And you just never know. You never know. I would love to remember, Billy, to be able to do this. You can't run the ball if you don't have threat of a pass. We have to have the threat of a pass. That's the answer of what's wrong with our running game. What's wrong with our running game is that every defense we played in the last few weeks comes in and says, we don't think Zach Wilson can beat us. So we're going to keep 8 guys in the box. We're going to stack the box. We're going to play you like all you could do is run. And if Zach wants to try to beat us with the pass, let him try to beat us with the pass. Couldn't do it. Mike White will make you pay. If you stack against the run, he'll make you pay. If our offensive line gives him any time, they will pay because he'll start he has a chemistry with Garrett Wilson that's off the charts. Off the charts. So there you go. But I think we need to do everything we can to win this game. And to me, it's like, do you find a way to use Strevler? Yeah. It's amazing that we still have a chance, Spin Max. It's amazing. It's amazing. And hey, man, don't thank me. Thank you for being on. Thank you for being here. It's what makes it all worth it. I live for this stuff, man. I love it. And every time you guys are here and you hit that like button for me and get new people in here, helps me get new subscribers, helps me build a channel. Guys, it can't hurt you to subscribe. If you don't like my stuff, you can always unsubscribe, or you can always just not watch the things that I do. But you might every once in a while catch a live show that you like or catch a video that you like. Lee, who is just here, that's my older brother. He does lots of videos for the channel as well. Always trying to give you coverage, give you insight. You can disagree or agree. I have plenty of people who disagree, as everybody here knows, if you've been paying attention or following my channel. It's impossible to say anything about the Jets and not have disagreement, right? This fan base loves to argue. We love to fight. We love to be contrary. And when you don't have a defined, definitive quarterback, you're going to get lots of fighting and a lot of pushing and a lot of different opinions. If Mike White is injured, we play Strevler and sign Zach off for the year. He's confident. Yeah, we've been talking about that, London. We agree 100%. Zach Wilson is done. He's the QB4. He's got to be behind Strevler, Flacco, and Mike White. Now, I don't think he's behind Flacco. And I think that's a mistake. I think they're wrong. And it's not to jump and beat up. I'm not trying to pile on Zach Wilson. It's Zach Wilson just doesn't have confidence, and the offensive line and the offense around him doesn't have confidence. You saw what we are with Zach Wilson at quarterback against Jacksonville. That's what we are. We're not going to win any games that way. So we can't do it. We have to have somebody different in there that gives us some other element. Mike White, the element he gives is, you want to stack the box on Mike White and challenge him to beat you? Fine, he will, because he's at a different place in his career than Zach Wilson. He's able to get rid of the ball quickly. He's able to be decisive. He's able to read the defense and see the field. It's a different quarterback. He might not have the athletic ability of Zach Wilson, but that's not what we need. if you're going to play Mike White, our offense is going to go very vanilla. It's going to be passing, running fast, crisp routes, getting rid of the ball. As a matter of fact, that's what the Shanahan offense is. It's about quick, crisp route running and getting rid of the ball quickly, making a quick decisions. That's why Mike White has looked good, because that's what he does. And if it's not Mike White, then you go the different direction. You put Strevler in there and you play a wildcat, and you maybe you're never going to be, we might not be a great offense, but maybe at least we'll move the ball, put up some points, and allow our defense to win the game for us. But no matter what, Seattle, who knows how we can get through that game? I mean, anything's possible. They haven't been playing well at all. That Miami game, we really have to hope we have Mike White ready. We really need the best quarterback on the roster. And right now, that's Mike White. We really need him. We really need him. So it'd be great to have him for Seattle, but we definitely need him by Miami. And I said it again. How long the hell does it take to freaking recover from bruised ribs? Because I've known people, there have been players who come back in a shorter amount of time with broken ribs. So I just don't. This kid, he was supposed to play the next week. He thought he was going to play. The kid wants to be out there. We just got to get a doctor to say he can. And it's not just, I don't want any doctor to say he can. I care about the kid. I care about the human being. Like, I would never want him to put himself in any kind of life danger over a football game. But if it's safe for him to be out there, we need him. But yeah, man, we got a chance. We got a real chance, because really, statistically, if we win out, we're going to go in. Like, statistically. The reality is that New England is probably not going to, like, the chances that New England wins both games is not likely. It's not likely. So the odds are in our favor. And if we win out, New England wins both games, then guess what? They deserve it. They beat us and they deserve it, because they beat us twice. And that's on us. That's on us. Yeah, if you start Strevler, he's going to have to run it a lot, because he's not a passer. We saw that. We saw that he's not a passer. Passing is secondary to Strevler. He runs, and if someone's wide open, I can throw the ball to him. Like a wide receiver or running back on one of those trick plays. That's what it kind of is. He's not a traditional passer, but that's okay. You could steal a game. Oh, we got a troll in here. Okay, troll. Hey, I don't know. Hey, if you want to be a troll and be in here, fine. I hope that you had to subscribe to do it. Hopefully, you'll stay subscribed, and then you're welcome here to talk about it. But you know what I mean? You could say we're a trash team. If we lose another game, we're gonna feel that we're a trash team. But you know what? We're a trash team for now, but we're getting a lot better. And if you don't see that, you could laugh and tell all your friends, "Oh, these Jet guys are crazy. They think they're good." Wait till next year. Wait till the year after that. If you don't see that we're a different organization than we were the past 8 years, and you don't see us coming, and you don't think we're better and getting better, if you know that little about football, that you can't even read and see the players we have on this team and the young core that we're building around, if you can't see that, fine, I'm not going to argue with you. The results will speak for themselves over the next couple of years. We'll never see you again, because you won't come back and talk trash. You'll forget all about it. And if you're here to talk trash, it's like, and just start with us for no reason, it's like, go tell your mother what you did on Christmas. "Hey, Mommy, I went into a Jets talk show thing and subscribed to their channel so I could talk trash about them." I'm sure she'll be very proud of you. Thoughts on the Jets? Play Zach Wilson and we will know if he's the one or not. Last chance. I can't agree with that. Not with the playoffs on the line. I can't get behind that. If we were mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, fine. Play Zach Wilson. See what we got. I have no problem with that. But not with playoff hopes. I'm sorry. You have to take, without risking a player. Okay, because I don't agree with what Washington did with RG3 when they ended his career by playing him hurt. I don't agree with playing guys that are hurt and ruining their careers. But aside from playing that, you have to play your best players when you still have a chance to be in the playoffs. You have to take every opportunity, because you never know. Nobody thought Cincinnati was going to go to the Super Bowl last year. Nobody thought it, and they did. So you play your best possible players until you're mathematically eliminated, and then you could think about everything else. Oh, I want to look at this player. What can he do? What can he? Fine. But if you still have a chance for the playoffs, you got to take that chance because you don't know what could happen in the playoffs. And by the way, a playoff experience is invaluable. Very important. Getting Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, JJ, let Quinnen Williams taste a little bit of success and see what it's like to be in a playoff game. Like all of that. So important. And think about it. We play any amount of playoff games. We get into the playoffs. If we can win this game against Seattle, play against Miami, and just be in those kind of games, that's without AVT. That's without Brees Hall, possibly Becton. So we don't only got draft picks coming to improve this team. We got 3 guys that could be high-level impact players coming back automatically just from injury, even before we talk about what we're going to get in the draft. And even before we talk about how much better is Garrett Wilson going to be his second year? How much better is Sauce going to be? Guys get better. Most of the time, guys get better. They like in almost every situation. Look at players, how much better they get. Do we have any idea of how good Garrett Wilson could be? I mean, he's gonna break 1,000 yards receiving on a team that has no quarterback, right? I mean, like, think about it. What's going to happen if we get stability at a quarterback and you get Garrett Wilson in his second year? Now he has a year of experience. How good can this kid be? We don't know. It's unlimited. I mean, it's something to be excited about. I wish Zach had the best luck. Unfair hate. He gets screwed and he plays terrible. Okay. I want him to have one more off season with us, but I want Mike. Yeah, look. Zach's not going anywhere. It's a $20 million cap hit. Like we're not losing Zach. Like Zach Wilson's here, whether we like it or not, he's here. You know what I mean? So he's going to get an offseason and he's going to get to compete for a job. Now, depending on what we do at quarterback, I don't know if he'll have a realistic chance to be a starter next year. If we don't do much, then he will. He'll compete for a job, but he's here. He's got a spot on the team because we're not going to take a $20 million dead cap hit. We're not. It's 15 a year after that. We're going to take a $35 million hit over the next 2 years, or we're going to take a $9 million hit and keep him on the roster. Believe me, Zach Wilson's not going anywhere. But the question is what is he, QB 1, 2, or 3 or 4? Not 4. It would be more likely maybe 4. Maybe because you have to keep him at 3 though, because you have to keep him on the 53. I think. Otherwise, we take the money for the hit. So I wonder if we're allowed to put him on the practice squad, but still honor the contract and not pay the cap. Because if somebody wanted to come and pick him up off of the practice squad, we'd be like, yes, go ahead. Goodbye. Nice to meet you. Nice seeing you. I don't even think that's allowed. We're going to have to just have Zach on that's 53, and we'll keep him inactive every week. Unless he wins the job, unless he proves better. The worst case scenario is he's inactive every week. That's what it is. And then we'll have whoever our starting quarterback is, whether it be Mike White or a guy that we picked up, we'll have our backup quarterback, and Zach Wilson will be on the 53, inactive every week. Ultimately, it's up to Saleh. He can disregard what the doctors say and start White anyway. He'll never do that. Never do that. And you know that too, right? I know that you know that. So we know what kind of person we have in Robert Saleh. If the doctors say he can't play, he's not playing. Your thoughts on the long? Are you kidding me? This has got to be a joke, right? The greatest long snapper in our franchise history, Hennessy. You got to keep him, and then you do a shot of him. It's Christmas. What's up? People are coming in to celebrate. It's funny. It's like we didn't win. We didn't do anything, but it's Zach attacks practice like no one else. Yeah, but he doesn't do anything with it. How about Baker Mayfield to compete with White? They might do that. Who knows? I mean, would you be excited about that? Is that who you want? I mean, there was a time where I loved Baker Mayfield. Like, you never know. I mean, it's possible. I don't think the fan base will like it. I think most of the fan base will be very upset if we bring in Baker Mayfield, and it's going to be Baker Mayfield, Mike White, and Zach Wilson. I don't think you're going to have a happy fan base, but he's more competent than Zach Wilson was this year. That's for sure. Yeah, so so I don't know. You take Darnold. I mean, look, Darnold and Baker Mayfield are the same thing, I guess. If I can't sit here and say, maybe they take Baker Mayfield, and then say, I mean, here's another guy. It could be Minshew. It could be Darnold. It'd be very hard to imagine them not doing anything. Because unless Mike White goes on some crazy run, right? Why was Elijah Moore tweeting good things about Jalen Waddle? Maybe they're friends. Maybe it's just respect, professional respect. Who knows? Look, we don't know if Mike White comes back healthy, then he has a chance to prove a lot of people wrong. I'm not saying he will, but his story is not over. Like his I guess entry into this question of quarterback is not over if he's healthy. If he comes back and beats Seattle and beats Miami, can you imagine if Mike White came back and we beat Seattle and Miami and he plays really well? I'm not saying superstar, just efficient and good. But let's say, over 300 yards against Seattle. Let's say Garrett Wilson gets over 100 yards receiving. Let's see Elijah gets 60, 70 yards and some receptions. Let's say he brings us back to life. And then let's say he leads us over Miami and has a good game. 240, 250 yards, 150 yards, couple of touchdown passes, 65% completion. What if he does that? Whether you like it or not, he's going to be in the conversation as the quarterback for next year, whether you like it or not. That's just a reality. So that, what if he goes and what if we went to the playoffs and he won a playoff game? Then he's definitely going to be the quarterback next year almost. If he plays well. If we win the next 2 games, make the playoffs and win a game, and we win 3 games in a row, 2 of them, I mean all of them sudden death, all of them win or we're dead and anyway. 3 games with all that pressure on it. If he comes in and they're all on the road, so if Mike White comes in and wins 3 road games and plays well in 3 games, you don't think there's a chance that our coaching staff is going to say that's our starting quarterback next year? I'm not saying that doesn't mean that look, they got to get a better option. Flacco's gone. I don't think they're going to be serious about Streveler being the QB2. And that's not because I don't love him. I'm just being realistic. They're going to need a QB2. Who's the guy? Even if that happened and they went with Mike White, okay, but who's the guy behind him? And that's when you start talking about Minshew and guys like that. But the problem is if Minshew comes, he's going to compete for that. It's going to be, it's going to be a little bit more competitive in camp, I think. Yeah. They were guys, they're fans too. They appreciate each other as athletes, It doesn't mean anything. Jordan Love, I don't know. Jordan Love, I wasn't impressed with him, but he hasn't had much of a chance, right? So he's a mystery. The Jets are letting other men hold the pen. Well, that's the problem, right? They're letting other men hold the pen. You stealing that from me, man? Because I'm the one that said we can't let other people hold the pen. We need to control our own destiny. But we still have a pen. The Jets still have a pen. It might not be a pen to the complete control of the playoffs, right? But it doesn't mean we're not holding a pen. We could still narrate how we're going to go down. Are we going to win the last 2 games and give us the best chance for the playoffs? Are we going to, you know what I mean? Give ourselves and respectability. If we end the season 9-8 and don't make the playoffs, we're still not trash. No one could call us trash. 9-8, won the last 2, showed a lot of promise. Still our pen, man. We still have our own pen. We write our, we don't write. It's not powerful enough to write us into the playoffs, but it gives us a damn good shot at the playoffs. A really good shot. A really, really good shot. I don't see the only way I see New England winning the last 2 games is if Buffalo is not playing for anything in the last week. That would be horrible. That wouldn't be a good thing for us. So the number 63 on the run was drafted by the Jets. On the Rams. Oh, on the Rams. Are you watching a game? Is there another game on? Let me see this there. I didn't even realize there's probably another game on. My wife would kill me. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do another watch party. Broncos Rams. This game is completely insignificant, right? I don't think it doesn't have any meaning whatsoever for us, except to laugh at Russell Wilson if he does bad. Disregard Papa comes in and gives me a super chat. Thank you, my friend. He says this loss was who we were rooting for in the Finns versus Pats. We are definitely rooting. I am rooting for, without question, if your goal is for us to qualify for the playoffs as soon as possible, we need the Pats to lose. We control the Finns again. As long as we're within a game of the Finns, we control them. Because if we beat them, we have the tiebreaker. So the Dolphins are not a problem because of this loss. They are no longer a problem. The Patriots are the team that can kill us. So we are rooting for the Finns. We are clearly rooting for the Finns. There's no doubt about it. Because if the Dolphins beat the Patriots and the Jets beat Seattle, we no longer have to look at any other team. We have full control of our destiny. Win and we're in. All we have to do is beat Seattle and for the Dolphins to beat the Patriots. So that's what we want. There's no question. We're rooting hard. I mean, if we lose, it doesn't matter, right? So assuming we beat Seattle, we're rooting so hard for the Finns to beat the Patriots because that's what gives us, that ends it. We no longer have to worry. We control our own destiny. Win and we're in. So that's what we want. There's no argument about it. I promise you. Now, there's a chance the Chargers can help us out. If they lose both games, I guess if they lose out and we win out, I think that's right. 8-6. Yeah, we would pass them. So we could root against the Chargers, but that's not really where our high percentage is. Like our real opportunity is for New England to lose one of the last two games. As long as we get New England to lose a game and we win out, we're good. So that's what we're looking at. Now, if the Chargers lose today, great. No complaints. We'll continue to root against them, but I wouldn't count on it. I wouldn't get stressed over the Chargers. So it just doesn't, there's no reason to get stressed and like be worried about the Chargers when they win and being upset and doing all of that because it's not the likely thing anyway. It's not, we just need New England to lose a game. We need New England to lose a game. That's it. Assuming we win out. And I'm not even talking about the Miami game. I'm talking about making the Miami game meaningful, right? All we have to do is beat Seattle, and all we need is for New England to lose to Miami. To make the playoffs, we know we have to win out. We have to win a miracle. We have to somehow come out with a win against Miami. Not going to be easy, but just New England to lose a game. And hopefully that Buffalo game will still have meaning. Hopefully they're still playing for the 2 seed or some kind of, hopefully it still it's a meaningful game for them. I think it is. I didn't pay attention to that, but I think it's still a meaningful game from Buffalo. I know somebody out there in the chat knows. Does Buffalo, is there a good chance that it's still going to mean something for Buffalo? Are they still in it for a number 1 seed? That would be the best because we want them to be playing for a bye. Buffalo likes to beat up on New England anyway. They hate him just as much as we do. They were around all those years. But anyway, that's who. Disregard Papa, thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. Jets are going to the playoffs. I think Finns beat Pats. Yeah, if the Finns beat the Pats, we're not going to the playoffs. It means that we are in control of our own destiny, assuming we win out. But to me, it's all about we win, Miami wins, then we play Miami for the whole kit and caboodle. Win and we're in. That's what I want. That's what I would love to see happen. In 24, well, you're a year ahead of the game. It depends on what happens. What if we brought Jimmy G in, signed him to a 5-year contract, and he was amazing? Look, I would love to pick a quarterback at some point. I'd love to have hope. It's always nice to have a hope. It's nothing like hope in a young quarterback. Like, maybe that's the guy. Oh, my God, man. If they work out, oh, my God, you got a cheap quarterback for 5 years? It's always a good thing. But look, today was a great Christmas. We got a great Christmas present. Green Bay, everybody, if you know anybody in Green Bay, send them Send them some crackers to go with that cheese. Because we owe them. We owe the Green Bay Packers. They totally hooked us up with that win. That was great. That gives us a really good chance to go to the playoffs. At the look, we got to remember. I say all we have to do is win, right? But like the last Thursday did not make me think we could win. But if you change the quarterback, we saw when Strevler came into the game, everything changes. Everything changes the second you change the quarterback. So we'll see. Anyway, my wife is waiting because what do I have to watch today? We watched our traditional movie, The Love Actually. I think she's going to make me watch The Miracle on 34th Street because I watched it with her a year ago. And now she wants to make it tradition. Ugh. And I definitely have to watch, I think I have to watch Toy Story with her. Or not Toy Story, Christmas. No, we don't have to watch Christmas Story. I think I'm going to get stuck watching Miracle on 34th Street. Ugh. Please, people, help me. It's like black and white, right? It's not even in color. I hate that stuff. This guy yelling in his dream. I hate movies like that. They stole my identity. Nobody knows who I am. I hate that. I hate that stuff. All right. I hate to go. I got so many people in the stream. I'm so glad everybody's here. But I've been on for almost 4 hours now. So I kind of have to go, guys. I will be back. I might come back and do a game tomorrow. Let me see. Isn't there a game tomorrow? Maybe the Charger game, if you guys want to. Are you still watching 8 Crazy Nights? I don't even think I ever saw 8 Crazy Nights with Adam Sandler. I don't know why. I always liked his movies, but I don't know if I've ever watched 8 Crazy Nights. Look, everybody, thanks for being here. The Jets have almost 100% control. They almost have control of their own destiny. They still have to, they have to obviously win out the games. All they need is a New England loss in one of the last 2, or Chargers lose 3 in a row, I think, or something like that. So anything can happen. But thanks for joining. Appreciate everybody for being here. Take care, and I'll be back when I'm back. Greatest co-host in the world, Y2K99. Get ready to rumble!
The tag team champions of the world.
My brotherly creeper
That is the best intro I have ever received.
The world.
Buffalo Jets fan.
Yo.
George Fant is a barely above replacement level, pretty good left tackle.
How can you say
Compare
that when
that
he
to
was
an-
top 3 in sack percentage last year for left tackles?
And I think when in doubt, until you have better reason, go with the optimistic view. And our defensive line is going to be giving a lot of people some trouble.
But yeah, it's got to be, I'm with you. I don't like the Nathan's fries when they're floppy. It's got to be done really well, It's very hard to teach 6'3" and 4.3 speed. That's very rare. The talent's there. He's just got to put it together mentally.
Right.
To get
You're a
on
cheater.
to you, I'm a cheater.